Like, pigment-wise?
Just lighting-wise.
No.
It's a little bit dark. It's not bad, though. You know, I can tell who it is.
Who is it?
It's James Blunt.
Oh, he's beautiful.
He did. Well, he says I'm beautiful.
You're talking to himself.
Is he
He's just really self-absorbed.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why he's all alone in the middle of nowhere when he's singing that. Because he doesn't want anyone else to think he's talking to them.
Yep.
He's joining us this evening.
Philip?
Philip Seymour Huffman's right here in my arms.
It's a good name for a cat.
It is. Larry?
He doesn't approve.
He's staring at things. He doesn't know what he's staring at, though. Okay. So, yeah, heck of a day. Heck of a day. One heck worth of a day.
Ben Heck's day out.
Ben Heck, he would make a modded Game Gear that plays on a projector screen underwater.
I would love to be friends with that guy and just like,
I do too.
hey, can you make me this thing? Like, I need.
Yeah. I need my my old Rolex Peaks that we can keep on ticking watch to like play Game Boy games. He would do that. How are you guys this evening?
All right.
Pretty good.
Eating ice cream?
Yeah.
That's scary. I've got Larry here, and he wants to eat my hand.
He doesn't know. He does not know.
He doesn't know how to not eat my hand. Anybody? Yeah. So, Cyberzone. There's a lot of good stuff to talk about, actually.
Like Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Well, okay, so yeah, let's start with that.
Okay.
Nickelodeon's making a TV movie.
Yep.
I had heard that, yeah.
So, like, is it a movie based on like the children who are in the show, or is it like a movie based on like the lore behind the Hidden Temple?
They've shown like one like concept still, and it looks like it's going to be about like the lore of the Hidden Temple.
Okay, so like,
it's
you
going
find
to
out
be
who
like an Indiana Jones with Olmec.
the actual like blue barracudas were.
Mm-hmm.
And, like the purple parrots, they were like opposing tribes that like killed each other violently.
Yeah, what if they go all apocalyptica on it?
Yeah, a bunch of kids end up like dressing up like them hundreds of years later as like some sort of like mockery and winning Nickelodeon slime bags or whatever. I think that's what's happening.
I hope there's a scene in the movie where they go to the Shrine of the Silver Monkey and the guy cannot for the life of him figure out how to put the statue together.
Yeah, it's 3 pieces, and he's just like, I don't know. It's like does the head go in the middle?
And the Ooga Booga comes out of the wall and snatches him away.
Unless he's got a medallion.
That's true. Okay, so out of the Legends of the Hidden Temple teams, who wins? Pound for pound, let's get into it.
Well, the best team is the Blue Barracudas, but they don't win.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is going to be assuming that like all 4 teams are squaring off, and it's not like, you know, Blue Barracudas happen to be made of 2 like terrible children.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that this is like the actual Blue Barracudas.
They would win.
Purple Parrots versus
Silver Snakes.
What?
Silver Snakes.
Silver Snakes. That's right. It was Silver Snakes.
Green monkeys and orange geckos, salamanders.
Orange iguanas and red
Orange
jaguars.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Or you're a fish.
Or hold on, barracudas have big teeth, dude.
They do.
Yeah.
And if you put any one of those other animals in the water with the barracuda, done.
It's a fair point. That's why I go barracuda.
I think that's fair. Though if you put the barracuda on land, every other thing would win also.
Depending on how soon. Like, if the barracuda just hit land and the thing got too close, it's still getting bit to fucking shit. Just saying.
A long time ago, we used to go to Cozumel a lot when I was a child, and we would ride around in like boats and go fishing and like do all this stuff like in the reef. And I remember we caught. We didn't catch. We were with like a group of people, and somebody caught a barracuda and pulled it into the boat, and it bit our boat driver, and it left just like huge teeth marks in his leg. And he didn't care. He just didn't do anything. He was just like, oh, you know, soy marinero, and then like he just.
Aaron and I found a show on Netflix last weekend called Animal Fight Night.
Ooh.
And all it is like footage of what was that show? Was it Greatest Warrior or?
I know what you're talking about.
It's basically that, but for animals.
Is it
And
CG?
it's not. It's mostly like there's a little bit of footage like CG, but for the most part, it's actual footage of animals fighting, and it's always like the same animal. It's like a mirror match, so it's not like snake versus like antelope. It's always like what happens when two bears fight each other.
Okay. Well, I mean, mirror match is kind of cool, but I was hoping it would be like they have like a wheel that they spin, and they're like, this week the snake is gonna fight a hippo.
Yeah.
Or a baby. That you could probably CG. I wonder how you could like write in like variables and programming to make it so, you could find out what has the advantage. And I mean, a snake over a baby is not a very difficult thing to figure out. But like, I want to see like a falcon, like say the albatross, huge bird, versus like a sloth. Like you put them in an arena together, and the sloth barely has time to like look to the right, and then at that time the albatross has grabbed it and like torn it into like sloth bits. And that's sad because I like sloths, but that's what would happen.
My overlay went away and I had to fix it.
Blue Barracuda.
Fixed it.
I did.
So, this week on the Cyber Zone, I wanted to discuss something with you. And this is where we're going to bring up the debate, the great debate, about which is the best Girl Scout cookie. And the secret is I'm holding it. So, that was fun. On to the next segment.
I like Girl Scout cookies less now that they don't just come out and say what they are.
Oh, yeah.
When I was a kid, you had like Thin Mints and peanut butter patties and caramel pralines and shortbreads. And then at some point, like 10 or 15 years ago, they decided to get cute and name them stuff like Samoas, Tagalongs.
These are named after the Samoan people.
What did they have to do with that cookie?
Look at it.
Are there even Girl Scouts in Samoa? That's
Yeah.
not a Samoan.
What?
That red-headed white girl is not a Samoan.
Hold on. Pigmentation issues.
No.
It says right.
I don't even think she's half Samoan.
You're not even going to give her a half.
Okay, hold on. Look at the women behind her. She's like an ambassador for peace for their country.
So we named this cookie after you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we're supposed to do it. Okay, so if you had to choose at this point, favorite cookie. Also, if anybody's watching, if you're on the event page, you can click the Q&A button below and actually like write to us directly, and we'll see it on a little sidebar on our screen, and you can ask us questions and we can answer them. So you can communicate directly with us, which I highly encourage, because having an actual back and forth banter or bringing up questions or discussion topics, we'll do it all night. It's terrible.
Yeah.
But I need to know what you guys think is the best Girl Scout cookie.
Samoas. I could just eat them like 8 at a time.
Yeah.
I tend to agree. Samoa's.
I actually used to not like these because I didn't like coconut for a long time, and then once I went through the 7-year change, like that's the boy equivalent of a period.
Yeah.
I like them, and now I like corn and coconut actually came at the same time for me, which is weird, but I really like Samoas now.
Someone did turn me on, and I never heard of this until like a couple years ago. The put the Thin Mints in the freezer technology.
The only way to do it, yeah, it's high tech.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually what astronauts do.
And that's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah, frozen Thin Mints are the standard. Good. But also I ended up picking up a gluten-free toffee tastic. And it turns out they're actually really good. I really like a lot of gluten-free stuff, to be totally honest. There's something about it that, I don't know.
So, apparently in 2009, they made a decision that they were going to put less Thin Mints in each box.
Less?
In 2009, the number of Thin Mints, Do-si-dos, and Tagalongs in each box was reduced.
The hell is a Do-si-do? Is that the shortbread one?
I don't know. But apparently the renaming, because of course I started researching this,
Peanut butter.
but had something to do with,
Those are kind of shitty.
yeah.
Wait! What?
What?
They're a low tier Girl Scout cookie.
But yeah, apparently the
We're getting
Little
good.
Brownie Bakers, which is part of the Keebler company,
Yeah.
started making the cookies for Girl Scout cookies, or at least partly started making it. So
Depending
they changed the name to Samoas.
Yeah, depending on the region, they actually ghost cookies are different.
Yeah, so there's 2 bakeries that do it, and depending on which bakery provided them is the name.
So there's thin mints of one region that are basically actual like, cookie mints, and then there's like the chocolate coated thin mints.
Mm-hmm.
Two totally different thin mints. Either way, you freeze them. You have to.
One of my favorites, and they don't make them anymore. It was like this. It was like a sandwich cookie, and in the middle of the top one there was this little like strawberry jam puddle with like crystallized sugar in it. I loved those.
Girl Scout cookie or just a cookie?
It was a Girl Scout cookie. I can't remember what it was called, like Strawberry Delights or something like that.
I don't know. I don't remember that one.
Strawberries and cream sandwich cookie with ABC vanilla cream and strawberry jam.
Yeah, I think that's it.
I'm on the Girl Scouts cookie Wikipedia page right now.
I've been there before. That's why this all sounds very familiar to me.
3 grown men can do on a podcast in the year 2016
Yeah.
is research the various types of cookies.
All right, it's bothering me. I'm gonna go turn the other light on because I feel all creepy.
That's fair. You got murderers.
Yeah, I feel like I'm telling a story about how I saw some woman get killed, but I don't want you guys to know who I am.
Ooh.
And like the Unsolved Mysteries tune is about to kick in.
Witness protection with identifiable video games in the background.
I think it'd be more like a current affair that would like.
Oh, that noise. So when I watched that show when I was young, I feel like I've discussed it with you at one point, right on.
I think
was
so.
watching an episode, because like it's just, I don't even know. It's like Twilight Zone with like a $50 budget, and there was I actually wonder if half the people that are watching this even know what a current affair is. But it was an episode about like this religious family. And the mom was in the hot tub, and the devil's hand came out of the hot tub and grabbed her by the face, and it was trying to choke her.
And see, I always thought a current affair was like a news show.
Right, yeah, I did too. And so when I saw this, I was like, wait, they're dealing with like the supernatural. I was also like 8, so I didn't know what to think of it, but it stuck with me ever since then. It made me think of like the hands in Beetlejuice that come like the shrimp hands that come out when they're doing the Barefoot Man song. Yeah. And Peter says thin mints in the freezer.
Yep.
Because, yeah, that's how you do it. Oh, yeah, I love peanut butter cookies, which is why I like Do-si-dos. But my friend's boyfriend made me a bunch of homemade, just regular peanut butter cookies, and I go through them way too quickly and I'm getting fat.
Yeah, I'm getting fat too.
Well, let's do
I
it.
already am fat. So that's the thing. What? I weigh like 280 pounds.
You're a big guy though.
True.
I'm like 5'9". Like there's no excuse for me to weigh that.
A couple of months ago, I was up to like 300 again, which was not great.
You know what you do? Is just poop more. You'll poop all the way out.
I've been pooping a lot lately.
Have you been? What have you been eating?
Food.
That's the problem.
Uh,
You should eat barium.
that seems good.
Barium.
I would love if someone just started a YouTube channel. They're like, I'm gonna eat like a gram of every element of the periodic table, and just like have it end after 2 episodes because he dies.
Yeah, that's the end of you. If you could eat any element, what would you eat?
What's the tastiest element? Probably tungsten.
That's really good because it goes on your tongue.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Science is easy.
Yeah, it's really like I don't get why I almost failed it every year in high school.
All I remember from science is playing Donkey Kong Country 2. Because I remember bringing my guide to school, and that's all I would look at instead of science. But we were learning. Okay, so I really did learn like 3 things, and it was cleavage and hardness, and then about like a bunch of different types of clouds, and I remember all that.
I have a very I'm going to be unpopular opinion man tonight. I can already tell.
Let's do this. I'm excited to go at it.
I don't like Bill Nye, and as a man, he's pretty cool, I guess. But like as a science guy, as a television presenter, I strongly dislike his show, and I prefer Beekman's World.
What about Mr. Wizard?
I love watching Mr. Wizard yell at children. That's really
Yeah,
funny to me.
it's very condescending.
See, I only ever really watched Bill Nye the Science Guy. I didn't really watch the other two shows.
Unsolved Mysteries guy.
Update.
Is that Robert Stack?
It is Robert Stack, yeah.
Okay,
The
he
current
looks
affair was Maury Povich.
Okay, because he looks like a male version of Cloris Leachman.
Yeah, he does. That show had one of the best intro songs out of any show ever.
Yeah.
Unsolved Mysteries was the coolest opening music of all time. Yeah, no, that song is so simple and it makes you feel like it gets the blood pumping. Like it tunes into your midichlorian going through your veins or whatever, your aorta, and it pushes them.
And it's always just him walking down a corridor with a smoke machine going and a big light.
Yeah.
And it's like, this guy was wandering through the train tracks and then he probably got killed by a hobo and no one ever saw him again. And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about, Unsolved Mysteries guy? I'm like 8. Why am I watching this?
I know, because it's intriguing. Think about the things you learn.
I wonder what the percentage is of how many mysteries on Unsolved Mystery are solved now. It's been a long time. How many of them?
Yeah, because they never go have conclusions, do they? I mean, at this point we wouldn't know, but
the point of the show was you were supposed to call in if you had information to help them solve the mysteries.
Right. It was like America's Most Wanted for Bigfoot and killer hobos.
Yeah. Do they have a website where you can go in and if you solve the mystery, you can just click the bubble and it goes to solved from unsolved, and then you're done.
A project manager.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but that was what was so weird about the show, though, was it was aliens or a chupacabra or something like that, and then also just this housewife who got murdered.
Yeah.
There was the kind of supernatural, and then also the world is terrible.
That's true. Also, PP says hi.
Hi, PP.
Hi, PP. Everybody, this is PP. He's my
Radon
cat.
did not seem impressed by
Dang,
people
Radon.
being there.
That's what you. So he's in antagonized mode tonight.
Yeah.
Are you?
He doesn't believe that PP is worthwhile.
PP is the worst of John's cats.
Well, the word. Ow, jeez. Okay, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Wait, is that why you're chewing on something tonight, Radon? Because you're doing the antagonist thing?
No, I just like chewing on stuff, and I made this really giant straw out of 2 straws. So I'm
Looks like
chewing
a
on
super Twizzler.
that. Yeah.
But I thought it was you kept pulling the Twizzler apart without ever breaking or eating it. Just stretching it all the way. Okay. I want to talk about video games.
I don't think we got time for that.
Okay, then the podcast is almost over. All right. Well, what have you guys been playing in 1 minute or less?
Michael, go first.
Pretty much trying to finally do a full playthrough of Chrono Cross.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, I'm working on that, and then kind of it. Nothing else is really. That takes a lot of time.
That's fair. Yeah. Especially with our schedules, it's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Other Michael.
Today I beat Keith Courage in Alpha Zones for the first time.
How was it?
It's a weird choice for a pack-in game, and it's not perfect, but it wasn't terrible.
Okay.
I've been playing 1001 Spikes.
Oh yeah, I saw that. How are you liking that?
I love it. It's really good.
Really good.
I have been playing. That's mostly it. I'm gonna start in on something for the 32X tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm not sure what. And Sonic and All Stars Racing Transformed.
I like that one.
Which I think is so much better than Mario Kart. It's offensive that Mario Kart exists.
It does not have Toe Jam and Earl in it.
It does.
Yeah,
They
it's Wreck-It
tried.
Ralph, though.
It has Wreck-It Ralph. It has Danica Patrick.
It does have Danica Patrick.
If you play on the PC, you can play as Kaiser Wilhelm in a big tank.
But you can play as Wreck-It Ralph, but not the actual racing character from Wreck-It Ralph.
You can't
Yeah.
play as Penelope.
Which is a weird choice.
The character who races in that movie. Yeah, that's fair. I don't understand.
I'm echoing through one of your guys' setups.
Maybe it's mine, but I can't tell. So you sound fine to me, and I'm not going to do anything.
I'm gonna guess it's John's because
Probably.
I'm wearing headphones.
I was gonna wear headphones. Okay, check this out. I was actually gonna wear headphones tonight, but then I thought, if there are any ladies watching, and my head looks obstructed.
John, put headphones on.
Come on. Women like it when they can see my shiny forehead.
Yeah, but I hate hearing my voice echo 1,000 times.
Get a different voice?
Fuck you.
Hold on.
That's pretty much what I've been playing. I'm gonna play Super Castlevania 4 again soon. Also,
What's that?
it's like Castlevania but bigger.
Good.
Some would say super.
Yeah.
I want to know what games our readers have been, or readers, the people who
Yeah.
read the transcription of the podcast. Okay, hold on. I can't hear anything because of this. Hello.
Yo.
Let me make sure that the settings, microphone, Turtle Beach. Okay, how does that sound?
Sounds good.
Much better? Okay. I'm doing it. Okay. Do I still look handsome? That's important to me.
Less. I'd say 27% less handsome.
Exactly. That's the exact reason I don't do this.
But you look more professional. That's not true.
See? I feel like I look like a air traffic controller. And that's not my profession, so it's unprofessional of me to do that. Okay, cool.
My mouse died.
Your mouse died. Mickey Mouse died. All right. So let's see. Pokemon Yellow came out. Pokemon Yellow, Blue, and Red
Yep.
showed up.
It'd be weird if just yellow came out.
You're still coming through those speakers. Let me turn that off. Okay. If just yellow came out. Now there's something that I read today that was kind of interesting that I wanted to talk about. So, oh yes, Steam. Okay. So on Steam, a game got pirated, and it was like that little the new little Harvest Moon kind of knockoff.
Stardew Valley. Yeah.
Stardew Valley. So apparently, the feedback to this game has been so tremendous that a bunch of people have been like, yeah, I pirated this, but now I just bought it because the game is so good. And like, it's been happening so frequently on the Steam boards that people are making like an active mention of it. Even Kotaku made a post about how frequent people who said I had no intention of buying this game, I played for like 10 minutes and was immediately sold to the point where they went and bought the game. And I thought that was kind of an interesting reaction, because we do see that there are games out there that people pirate, they don't like, and they don't buy it, or there's games that people pirate, they do like, they still don't buy it. But it seemed like there's a much more vocal element to this, with people who had pirated and expressed so, but then said, hey, holy crap, this was so good, and it was made by one dude, I had no choice but to buy it because I liked it so much. What do you think? Do you think that's the kind of thing that happens more often, we just don't hear about it?
It's weird. Someone in Cruces last weekend got arrested because he broke into a convenience store in the morning before they were open, and like on the video camera, he holds up a pack of cigarettes, and then he holds up $6, and he leaves the money on the counter and takes the cigarettes. He just wanted to buy cigarettes, and the store wasn't open yet.
And there's no other alternative?
There are definitely alternatives. I just don't, this guy just made this choice.
Okay.
But it's weird because like he got arrested, right? But with software piracy and with like music and movies, it becomes this weird like badge of honor. Like, yeah, I totally stole this, but it blew me away, and I was compelled out of pure human emotion to pay and correct this wrong.
It's like you're vindicating yourself publicly, so that way people think like, oh my god, what a hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very interesting approach.
Speaking of Harvest Moon, I saw that, and I didn't know this, Natsume has their own eBay store where they sell mint copies of their old games that they have got lying around in the warehouse whenever they just like find like, oh, we've got a Wild Guns, let's throw it up.
Damn.
We got a Lufia 2 in box. and they had a Harvest Moon that mint in box that they just sold for nearly $4,000 on eBay.
I did see that. I wasn't aware that was Natsume's.
And there was an interesting addendum to that article that also I didn't know about, which is that in Japan, the Harvest Moon series is made by Marvelous Entertainment, I believe.
Made or published?
Made, because
Okay.
Natsume used to publish it.
Right. Okay.
And now Marvelous has their own U.S. publishing branch, but Natsume still owns the rights to the title Harvest Moon.
oh,
So
in the States.
in the States,
Sure.
so Marvelous is now releasing their real Harvest Moon games in America under different titles,
Okay.
and Natsume is releasing Harvest Moon games that are not made by the original creators, but take advantage of the branding.
That's weird.
It is
That is weird.
Not aware of that. Have you played the Harvest Moon series before?
I own like 3 of them, and I've only ever played the first one, and it really bored me after like an hour.
That's fair.
Yeah, I played one of the first ones, and then another one I think that was on the GameCube, and I got really into it for like a couple of hours, and then never touched it again.
It has a very Animal Crossing element to me where, I get invested quickly for quite some time, and then I sort of drop all interest. Not because it's bad, but because it's very much like a longevity kind of, like, you really have to be committed to brushing your cows and planting your onions or whatever.
Yeah, cutting grass,
Right.
and then cutting grass, and then cutting grass,
Mm-hmm.
and then cutting fucking grass.
That's what you do.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but I like those games. I think they have a charm to them that's kind of hard to explain to somebody. But I enjoyed the Super Nintendo one a lot. I played it to completion a couple times as a kid. Which completion is like you play the game for 2 in-game years, and then it just ends, and you can't do anything except for restart.
Do they rate you as a farmer? Like you?
I don't think so. They try to get married to the ladies, because there's like 3 or 4 different chicks to get married to, and so you can change it up trying to impress other women. I always liked the chick with the she had blonde highlights in her hair, so I assumed that she loved like just massaging nipples all night.
I thought you were gonna say Smash Mouth.
I assumed that she liked listening to Smash Mouth while we did it anally, but that was the other chick. That was the blonde chick.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what is the Smash Mouth guy's name?
Nobody knows.
Yeah, because even if you know it, you'll forget immediately because it's not pertinent ever.
All-Star.
Yes.
This was my argument the other day because I was saying nobody knows his name, and then someone in the shop looked it up, and I was saying it doesn't matter because none of us are going to retain that information.
I know a lot of crappy band members' names.
I do too.
But you don't know the Smash Mouth guy's name.
I don't know that I've ever even heard his name. I don't know if he has
No
it.
one has.
Well, that's the thing is, even if you had, you wouldn't remember.
But see, okay, new theory. Maybe we don't know because he is such a nice guy that he doesn't want to outshine his bandmates in any way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like meticulously scrubbed his personal information off the internet. He is only Smash Mouth.
That's Smash Mouth is an entity.
He's that committed to the idea of the
Yeah.
band. Also, to be fair, I've never heard any like shitty rumors about that guy.
No, he seems like a nice dude. That's
He has a cookbook, I think, with Guy Fieri, if I'm not mistaken.
I was gonna say, are you thinking of Guy Fieri?
Because I think they're doppelgangers. Yeah.
I would
Yeah,
look that up, but I don't want to research Smash Mouth.
Yeah, that's a lot of effort.
One of my favorite, you guys know Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite facts about Anthony Bourdain is that he was doing an interview with some show, and someone asked, it was like a French TV show or something like that, and they asked him, like, what's the happiest you've ever been in your life? And he said, one time Guy Fieri tweeted that he was excited that he was on his way to the Nickelback concert, and that was the happiest moment of my life.
That's really cute. Adorable. I want to talk about video games some more, because I've been thinking about them all day.
Okay.
Well, you've been in a video game store all day.
I know.
How much is the Pokemon Yellow download?
$10?
Okay. I'm probably gonna pick it up then.
Yeah, you can train.
And if I'm not mistaken, if you have a Pokemon bank account, you can transfer your Pokemon from that game into Sun and Moon when that comes out.
That is correct.
Okay.
That is correct. Yeah, you can't transfer stuff back into yellow, gold, or yellow, blue, or red because there's going to be like different stats from newer Pokemon that don't exist. But the stats from the originals will move forward. So, yeah, it's really cool that they're allowing that because I didn't expect that at all. But I was thinking about something, and I like discussing rumors because I think it's really fun to talk about all the what ifs. And right now there's a bunch of rumors going around about the NX.
Yeah, those are good rumors.
And they're fun. Yeah, it's a lot of really fun stuff to think about. I'm going to bring up the post so I can check it out. But there's a lot to discuss. Let's see. And remember, if anybody wants to ask any questions, provide any feedback, do that. Okay.
Do it. Don't
do it.
Don't puss out.
Yeah, don't not do it.
Be a man or a woman.
Okay. Let's see. Let's find out what we got rumor-wise. Okay. So apparently, we're hearing that the NX is going to be on par strength-wise with the Xbox One.
That was the least. That was the most disappointing rumor out of all of them.
Yeah, because you want it to be like super leaps and bounds ahead, but of course, who knows exactly what that even means if they're discussing. Because raw power means nothing when you're making proprietary software, usually. Because even like Wii U stuff that's proprietary looks unbelievable. But, if Nintendo has something that's going to be on par with Xbox One and PS4, PS4 being technically more powerful, if Nintendo decides to do something that is Xbox One level power, it will still look as good as like a high-end PS4 game because it's made for that hardware and Nintendo engineers know how to capitalize.
Yeah, but they need to get that out like now, like today.
Yes.
If that's the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really do.
Okay. So another bit of this rumor is that it's going to have a wireless HDMI dongle that you just plug into the back of your TV, so that way your game system streams to the dongle, giving you potentially more room for maneuverability or relocating your system, which doesn't really seem necessary, but at the same time it could come in really handy in certain situations, eliminating a cord altogether.
Yeah, it's neat, but not necessary.
Yeah. But I like the idea that that streaming capabilities are so strong, as the Wii U to the gamepad has proven, that you should theoretically be able to do that without any issue. So, okay. I've also heard that it's going to be using haptic feedback,
Oh my God.
Right? Okay. And so the gist of that, to anybody who wants to know, is that say you're playing Mario 64 EX plus Alpha, whatever, NX version, and you run into the wall, the joysticks will actually provide reverse feedback pushing back towards you as if like you are it's resistance. It's creating resistance on your controller. And
that's
I love
actually
that.
really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
All I can think about is Star Fox.
Oh my God, that's a game that would benefit from that kind of stuff tremendously. Incidentally, I'm hearing rumors that Star Fox might be pushed back for even more quality purposes because they're just not feeling that it's what it needs to be.
Okay with that.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that if that's what they feel they need to do. And tomorrow is a Nintendo Direct where we might find out information on a potential delay. And if they feel they need to delay it, that sucks, but
I agree 100%.
It's a good step to take. Yeah.
A good chunk of the last week discussing games that weren't fully finished with people. Like the Duke Nukem game, Chrono Cross, Street Fighter. Just a bunch of games that were going to be fucking amazing, and then they just like, we're going to put it out now.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the day of patches, the problem is that, you can patch it, but like releasing an incomplete product, people still buy it, but feedback is never good. It's very frustrating from the consumer day one experience.
People will buy it initially, but once that gets out there, it could hurt your sales.
There was a Street Fighter V tournament yesterday that got interrupted in grand finals because they had server problems. And so when you get disconnected from the server in Street Fighter V, it doesn't let you know discreetly. The screen goes black. It says you have been disconnected from the server. When you press OK, you go to the main menu.
Yeah, so if you're in the middle of a two-player versus match, Good
Yeah.
luck. Yeah, that's really fun.
And the
Yeah.
comments are all like, "Well, you should know better. Like, why were you online?" Which is fine. And
Yeah.
well, for the current build of the game, if you're organizing a tournament, that's something you need to be aware of. But at the same time, like, holy crap.
The fact that's even an issue, yeah. There should be no room for that issue to exist in that scenario. Unless, of course, you're reading a tag along.
Peanut butter patty.
Just I don't know. The way you said that was really funny to me, right on. Sir, peanut
This
butter
one-
patty.
Chocolate and peanut butter. Peanut butter patty is a do-si-do.
Yeah, no, that's a peanut butter patty. The do-si-dos, I don't remember what they were called, but those were originally called peanut butter patties.
I don't remember. That's funny. Okay.
I'm still
Strong
echoing
opinions.
through somebody's setup. I don't know what it is. I think I'm stroking out.
You might be having a stroke. Are you okay?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Do you smell burn notice?
Oh no.
Like
The
Bruce
person?
Campbell.
Well, yeah. He plays Sam Burn Notice on that show.
Yeah.
Burn notice. Okay.
Samuel T. Burn Notice.
Apparently, the NX itself will look unlike previous Nintendo hardware, but will still appear friendly, as if Samsung and the Nintendo 2DS had a baby. That doesn't mean anything to me, but
Yeah, that is actually like not a flattering description.
no, it's a very terrible thing to say. But they could also there's room to redesign if they need to. I don't even know what's going on. Let's see. Next-gen Rumble aside, Nintendo will reportedly keep you engaged with the system by syncing it up with your smartphone via Bluetooth, letting you read text or answer phone calls without putting your game down. In addition to that, with the new Nintendo Network ID thing that's actually launching this month for North America, like the full program with Miitomo, they said that the street passing functionality is going to be more abundant than ever. And I have a feeling that cell phone's going to play a very major role in street pass nature.
I like the idea that you have your phone in your pocket all the time.
Yeah, it's always
So
with you.
You're just going to be picking up street passes
Mhm.
all day long.
Yeah, just nonstop.
I wonder if they're still going to have a cap on it, because I know a lot of the games work well with a cap of people, or if they'll start queuing them up to groups of 10 at a time, so that way you still have to have a maximum of 10 for playing game A, but then once you go through those, the next 10 people in queue will just come in automatically, and you can start building up just absurd amounts of people. I wonder if that would be intimidating or even fun if you're just so backlogged that you can't even go through it reasonably.
Hmm.
That'd be my only sort of concern with that.
Yeah,
and
I
the
would
way,
kind of have to have a cap.
yeah, because that's why the 2DS, does have a cap of 10 people, and then I think it can keep another 10 in sort of a queue, and you can sort of build up a small amount, but otherwise it becomes too overwhelming, and it would break the games that you're trying to play. But if it got to the point where you're literally just checking street passes, just to check street passes to get through them, you wouldn't have time to enjoy games if you're just getting them so frequently. So,
Or
I'm
maybe
curious-
they'll have new games where you can have your friends as Mii's or whoever you street pass with as Pikmin, and you have to send hundreds of them to fight a bulb orb.
you very well could do that. That's also true. That's
Yeah,
very-
that would be neat.
yeah, much larger scale games.
Yeah.
I wonder if they can update the 2DS firmware or 3DS firmware either to end up working and coinciding with that a little bit more directly. I'd be interested to see how that works. Hi.
Hi.
Something just happened and it was called Weird Silence.
Yeah.
Weird.
Well, it cut over to Radon, and he was chewing on the straw, but it had curled around and it looked like a big red mouth. And I was just giggling to myself about that.
Is Ronald McDonald?
I was also trying to figure out how to discreetly eat my Firehouse sub sandwich.
Don't.
Oh. Yeah, don't discreetly eat it.
Yeah, I want you to violently and loudly eat it.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
That makes me uncomfortable on so many levels.
Do you guys watch Better Call Saul?
I
Yep.
have not.
Okay, because this has nothing to do with that show actually. But every time we're watching the commercials, in between, and it's only on Better Call Saul that I've noticed because it's always sponsored by Hardee's and Carl's Jr.
Mm-hmm.
They're always eating something and so it's a dude who eats a bite of his burger and like this loud crunch, and he eats like a French fry and there's this loud crunch, and then he bites into, and it just has like this really, like the Foley artist went crazy, and there's the new ones are him like opening up like a biscuit, and it's making like this noise like it's like pulling pig guts out of its stomach into a microphone. It's loud and gushy, but it's just a piece of bread, a hot-looking piece of bread with like butter on it. But it just, I don't know. Carl's Jr. commercials have this really interesting like sound. Larry,
Carl's Jr.
Yeah,
commercials
I
are
was
like
watching him do that. I was like,
sorry, yeah, bad news.
Larry.
Continue. Carl's Jr. commercials.
it's borderline pornographic.
It is. What is? I guess ASMR is basically ear porn.
Yeah.
Oh, I did that one time. We had an episode.
Yeah.
Or it sounded like I was eating a bag of potato chips. But they weren't actually potato chips. I was just chewing on one of my teeth. One of my teeth had come out of my mouth and I started chewing on it. And it made a crispy, crunchy noise because my teeth are made out of Doritos.
No.
I legitimately don't understand the point of that.
ASMR?
Yeah.
Just some people like very in-depth noises. Very crisp
Weird.
noises.
I think it's one of those things where people are gullible, and they like something because they think they need to like something.
I don't know. I think there's some legitimacy to it. You know, sometimes it's like some people like watching, you know, chicks hanging from their hair. I don't know. Like, it's just everybody's got a thing. And I think ASMR is one of those sort of untapped things that you might not even know that you like it until you hear it. Because I enjoy it. I'm not like a fan. I don't like go out and like watch, you know, video or listen to videos or anything. But there's an interesting kind of appeal in sound effects for me, or some sort of sound that's so like in depth and crisp and loud. And I think it's neat, but I'm not like, it doesn't do anything for me. Like, you know, it doesn't make me tingle or whatever.
Tingle.
Yeah, because, you know, like, you watch something, okay, you know, like the phenomenon where, like, you hear, like, a cool song and you get chills?
Yeah.
It's like the same kind of thing, right? You know, some people just hear some guy eating potato chips and they get chills, and, like, I don't know, but everybody's got something. Mine just happens to be chewing on my Dorito teeth.
Ah!
You don't like that?
I too frequently have the teeth falling out dream.
Oh, it's terrible, yeah. All the time. I have a fear of like putting like, I know this is gonna sound super gay, but like a big metal pole in my mouth and then chewing down on it and my teeth just fold forward completely and then like, they're flappy and shitty and like I can't ever chew again because like they just like they're hanging on little hinges.
I was with you when my tooth exploded.
That's right, you were. That's like
We had gotten a burger from a local burger place, and I bit into it, and there was something hard in the meat, and my
yeah,
tooth just shattered.
it did.
Like while I was eating. And like John saw me like stop chewing for a second and then go right back to like finishing food, and I was like pretty sure my tooth just exploded.
Yeah, but he kept going. He finished up the burger.
A friend of mine once broke his tooth on a Sour Patch Kid, which is kind of like,
Oh, dang.
yeah.
Wow. That sucks.
Like that tooth was clearly going to go on the next thing it touched.
Yeah, and that was it. It happened to be the softest thing possible. I guess besides gushy ramen.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need to know, we have a couple viewers. All right, viewers, down below, I actually don't know where the button is on this thing. I think there's a little Q&A button somewhere. There's a little blue bubble. Press that, and then you can type questions. Peter found it out. I have no idea how it works because we're never on that end of this. But I want to hear questions. I want reader questions. I want concerns and queries and, you know, love poems and, you know, like confessions and all the deepest, darkest secrets. Michael?
What?
He made like a cool face with the sunglasses.
I did do that.
I don't think that's appropriate.
I don't care.
Well, you will. Hi, Larry.
Technically, you're the moderator. You could probably kick me out if I get out of hand.
I suppose that's true, but I won't do that. I trust you.
You don't support censorship.
No, I do not. I do not. I think you should be able to watch even the worst of things. I believe that even like babies should be able to watch a Serbian film if they want to.
Just
I thought,
Serbian film.
yeah, no, I had to think about that for a second.
Yeah, just there's any
A movie called a Serbian film.
yeah. Hello, Larry. Ah, this is my buddy. His name is Larry.
Alright.
Larry, hi.
I adopted out the store cat today.
Oh, what was his name again?
Thurston, he will be picked up
Thurston.
Friday.
Thurston. Tungsten.
Thurston Powell III?
No.
Bye, Larry.
That's the millionaire.
I like millionaires. I want to be one. No, I actually don't. But if I had the money to be a millionaire just to do things that I want to do, that'd be fine. But I'm not striving to like try to make that kind of money because I don't care.
If I had the money to be a millionaire.
Yeah, that's $1 million. If I had $1 million, I would do it, and then I would buy lots of stuff for the store and employ hundreds of cats.
He looks like he's getting ready to jump at something he shouldn't jump at.
Probably. You know what he sees? All right, so check this out. I got this the other day from my sister, and I wasn't sure if this was just some sort of like weird, like throwback kind of thing, but she got this for me, and this is a Sony Walkman, and I was like, that's really cool. You know, that's 30 years too late, but right on. I'm just making a joke. But then, because like the packaging looks really nice, it looks like something you would actually go and like buy in Japan in this kind of packaging like today. And I popped it open, and it was straight up an actual Walkman from 1985. And I was checking out the instructions and everything, and I was like, oh, no, this is actually just a used Walkman that she found in her closet and then just gave to me. So that's kind of cool, but like it looked so fancy that I felt like they were doing like some sort of retro.
Yeah,
you
it looks
know.
like a cologne box.
Yeah, it totally does. It's really pretty. It's super nice.
Walkman by
And she
Sony.
kept it in very good condition, so I was impressed. But I have a Walkman now.
What did you ever listen to on your what got the most rotation on your tape-based Walkman?
I didn't have a lot of tapes when I was growing up, but the first tape I ever got was Roxette. So I could listen to The Look.
She's got the look.
She does. Love that.
got the look.
We could actually do like an on-screen, like an on-camera like song, sing to each other.
I'm not
Yeah.
going to do that. But as far as tapes go and the Walkman, it was quite a while before I was capable of recording songs. So, like, eventually I made a custom tape. That's all I ever listened to,
Sure.
which was
Yeah.
shitty because it was off the radio and it was just probably at the time like Linkin Park and a bunch of shit like that.
Mm-mm.
Just whatever was on the edge at the time.
And I have another important question for you.
I'm not done with my story, John.
I want to listen. I want to know about the. Okay, finish your story.
Okay. Well, basically before that, all I had was my mom's tapes. So I listened to like a lot of Bonnie Raitt and shit like that, which is funny because I'm walking around and everyone's like knows me as like the Aerosmith and like classic rock guy, and I'm sitting there listening to like Bonnie Raitt and just all kinds of weird things. What's Love Got to Do with It? That one.
That's Tina
Turner. Yeah,
Mhm.
that one a lot. But yeah, what was your question, John?
I wanted to know, like, out of like all the music that you listened to growing up, is there any that like people wouldn't expect? I mean, Bonnie Raitt is basically sort of your answer, but is there any that you like regret listening to at this point and like you're sort of ashamed of it? Maybe at the time you liked it because you know whatever at the time, but if you looked back at it now, is there something you go, ugh, why did I like that?
Nothing really that I'm ashamed of. There's stuff that nowadays I just don't like anymore.
Like what?
But I was actually having this discussion with Sam earlier, but they were playing the intro to a Linkin Park song on one of those like British quiz shows that we like, and it's just the intro, and it's like got a like kick-ass drum section going, and then it's got like the weird, you know, DJ stuff that they do, and we're like, this song is awesome, and then they start singing, and we're like, this song is terrible, and I realized like I mostly listen to them because everything that's not their singing is great in all of their songs. As soon as you get to like the lyrics and everything, you're like, oh, right, that's a thing.
It happens.
But none of the music I ever listened to in high school or just at all when I was younger really carried over at this point. But I'm not ashamed of any of it or like regret listening to it. It was like I used to, like I said, listen to a lot of Aerosmith and a lot of classic rock stuff, and I don't really listen to any of that anymore. Now I mostly listen to crappy pop music.
I'm with you. Do a lot of that.
Like so much crappy pop music, it's ridiculous. And like Pentatonics, that's like all I listen to.
I like Pentatonics.
Are you guys gonna come down here and see him? Hmm?
They're
Hmm?
coming to
I
Crucis?
actually might, yeah.
I didn't know
they
that.
are.
Huh.
May 5th.
Maybe.
Cinco de Mayo.
Weird. Yeah. Okay, that'd be kind of fun.
Cinco de Cinco.
Weird. 5th of 5.
The youngest child.
Yeah, that's one. Anyway, so
The girlfriend just asked me if this was just a super short podcast, and I'm confused.
how long has she been watching?
Maybe she thinks that like because we're just like stammering and like talking about weird stuff that we've already like burned through.
Yeah, we're done.
She might have stroked out.
Some nights are just like this. Some nights are just idle banter, and we just happen to be discussing whatever.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm on, because I don't have like anything of substance to contribute.
Michael.
It's just Tina Turner.
Michael, no. Michael, what if you could talk about movies?
It depends. Like you have to hit that one that makes me just like freak out.
Which movie?
No, I never know when it's coming until it happens.
The problem is I'm also really hungry because I haven't eaten for a long time.
Are you good at movie quotes, Michael?
Sometimes. Like, what movie were we talking about last time that I like went off the rails about?
Teen Beach 2?
Yeah, that happened. No, I followed up the conversation we had with Sam later as well, where I was yelling about how shitty the kids are in Beethoven, and how like, it followed me home. It was the thing.
Isn't their daughter's name Rice?
I'm not gonna say that it isn't.
Okay. So I believe that's like the name of one of the kids. I think it's Rice. And I don't think I realized until like a week ago that it was spelled like R-H-Y-S. And I thought it was actually just like R-I-C-E. And I was like, this is the dumbest name ever for a girl. And then I think I saw like Jonathan Rice Myers or something on TV, and I was like, oh. And then all the Beethoven memories came flooding back, and like I rewrote the movie in my head, and it felt a lot better.
Sam's saying that the link isn't active anymore.
The link's
We're
not active?
live.
Yeah, we're live, and there's people watching. I'm gonna
Uh,
click it. I don't give a shit.
Click my balls, baby.
Big Mike.
Who's that big bitch?
It seems like it's fine right now. I see it. I don't know. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's telling her that the podcast already ended.
Let me check something. Is she watching last week's?
I don't know. She says
Is
it
she in the
only
future?
gave her like a half an hour and said that it's already done.
Let's see.
If you're one of the two viewers, let us know that it's still on.
Yeah.
It's important.
I'm gonna do something wild.
What?
Well, I'm waving my arms around, and I'm seeing if it's gonna correspond to what we're watching.
Michael, what's the best part of a drumstick?
Okay, it's live still. Sorry,
Um,
Sam.
I don't know.
The
The
stick.
meat, I would assume.
Oh.
Unless you're talking about ice cream.
Ooh.
I am talking about ice cream.
Those are good.
It's actually a pretty hotly debated subject because most people would say the bottom of the cone, where like the chunk of chocolate is.
That's good.
That's the best part. That's what you should have answered with.
Yeah.
Like, I'm perfectly okay with the people who start by biting the cone and just like suck the ice cream out of the bottom.
That bothers me. Eat it properly, then bite the bottom.
It's weird that that's the dessert of the dessert. You know?
Right. Oh, I finished my drumstick. I can have this part now.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I actually was thinking about this the other day. I went to Subway and got some cookies, and I got 2 macadamia and then 1 double chocolate, and I ate the 2 macadamia cookies first, and then the double chocolate as my dessert. So I saved that one for last, so I could have like a dessert within a dessert.
How far can this spiral? Like, how many levels of dessert can you reach?
So would I have to have like a hierarchy of like here's 5 peanut butter cookies, and then the dessert for that is like 4 chocolate chip cookies. Then the dessert for that is like 3 Thin Mints.
Yeah, like how many different varieties of Girl Scout cookies do you have right now?
All of them.
How many is that?
Let me see. So we've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 types.
So that's 28 cookies. And you start with 7 of the ones that you like the least, and work your way down to the one cookie that's your favorite.
What's my least favorite Girl Scout cookie? Rah Rah Raisins, probably. I like them. Greek yogurt flavored chunks.
Larry does not look excited about Greek yogurt flavored chunks.
Larry, look, he's kind of excited. Check this out. He wants to know. He's taking a peek. He's a good boy. He's good. He loves his mother. I don't know who his mother is. Me?
Yeah. You've breastfed him.
I did breastfeed him for several years, so I suppose he's my biological child now. Hey, buddy. I'm sorry that the podcast is just this. If you're watching, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so tired. It's been such a long day, and I had to work. Today's my day off, but I was there for 6 hours, 7, 8. I don't know, 8 hours. I don't know. A long time.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I want things to talk about, and I can't think of anything to talk about. Like, I'm not registering. I want to eat food. Okay, we're just gonna go. We're gonna go nonstop.
All right.
Okay.
Just go grab a snack real quick and then fuel up.
Yeah, Michael and I can hold it down.
You're 15 feet away from your kitchen. Just go grab an apple.
I don't have an apple.
Do you have a
God.
banana?
No, I love bananas though.
Can you like
I can heat up some food.
people could eat a lot healthier if we installed pneumatic tubes like they have at banks, and you could just have fruit like pushed
Get
into your house.
apple delivery.
Yeah.
Mhm.
People would
Just
put
press,
poop
like,
in there.
Keypad, you type apple, and then like it's just
Somebody would poop in there.
you would poop in the
Yeah, somebody.
I would not. John would.
Well, you'd be getting an apple, and then a poop would show up. A horse apple is what they're called.
Would you have to like grab the apple fast so that the poop didn't hit it, or would it be in like 2 separate containers?
Yeah, no, it's all at once. So like, I would send the apple, then immediately send the poop to give you a fair chance. But there could be like a kind of tube if you wanted to play like the stop and swap. You could do it like one at a time, and then you risk the apple stopping and the poop falling on top of it. But if you were playing like roundabout mode, as what it's called, like there's just a hole where the apple falls through, and you have to reach in and grab it as fast as you can. Otherwise, the apple disappears and it has to go around another cycle.
That seems like it uses a lot of power.
It does, yeah. It's not efficient, but like it depends on how much challenge you enjoy.
I do like challenge.
The individual has to pay for the power to supply if they wanted to do roundabout mode. And not because that's where the poop challenge comes in, though. If you want to pay extra money and risk your friends like pranking you all the time. I'm gonna go heat up some food though, because I need to get something in me, and I don't want to do. I'm gonna save all these different types of cookies for dessert later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm so boring tonight. I'll be right back. All right, Larry, let's do this. I don't want you to fall.
Okay, Michael. It's just you and me now, Michael.
Guess I should unmute my microphone then.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah?
I contributed.
You did. You said fuck really long.
Yeah. What I do, that's my thing. Everyone knows that about me.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to play a game, me and you. All right?
Are we?
Yeah.
So, what is your favorite movie that's got a Grodin-type character in it while you're prepping your game? This has been bothering. I want to know.
Define Grodin-type character, please.
The suburban commando dad, the dad who's just like sitting there and he's doing absolutely nothing wrong, but he's still viewed as the bad guy.
I don't know. I don't know. I guess Suburban Commando.
Because there's another one where he's like, "This is a crazy person." Everyone's like, "Shut up!"
Yeah.
And then he shoots a streetlight.
I was frozen today.
Fuck you, Hulk Hogan. Just in general. That's the worst part about working in the shop, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, is that no one, I know I bring this up all the time, but the people I work with don't understand what I'm saying when I reference movies and stuff. The customers 100% do not know what I'm talking about. Because the clientele at West is typically a lot younger than the people who come over to East.
Yeah.
So, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, Suburban Commando, all these movies do not play for them. It's just, they just stare at me like I'm a crazy person.
You just need to do wildly unpopular movie night.
You know what? For the second movie night, I'm going to do Suburban Commando. Because we're about to start movie nights again at the shop.
Yeah.
First one I'm going to do is Kung Pao because John fucking hates it.
Oh, yeah, I don't like that movie either.
A lot of people don't. I don't care. I think it's funny.
All right. So here's the game I've got prepared for you, Michael, okay?
Okay.
You're going to have to... I'm going to give you an Amazon movie review, a real review of a movie posted on Amazon, and you're going to have to tell me what movie it's for. Okay?
Ratatouille.
It's not going to be like super obscure stuff, but I think you'll enjoy this. You ready?
Okay.
All right, here we go. This could never happen. Oh yeah, a boat this big could really sink. 1 out of 5.
There's no way that's Titanic, right?
That is Titanic. Okay. There's no way an orangutan can ride a horse without crushing it. 2 out of 5.
I immediately want to say it's a Tarzan movie, but that's probably wrong. Is it that shitty one with Matt Damon? We Own a Zoo?
No.
What am I thinking of then?
It is Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
I don't watch those movies.
All right. Not as advertised. I thought this was a documentary about Italian cooking in Seattle, and boy was I disappointed when a cartoon showed up at my door. 1 out of 5.
Italian cooking in Seattle.
Yep.
And it's animated.
Yes.
I legitimately don't know. And I wish I did.
That one is Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Oh, I haven't seen that either.
This one's going to be tough. Don't like Tom Hanks. 1 out of 5.
Is it a more recent one that he's done?
Yes.
Is it that, like, Captain Phillips one or whatever?
No, it is not.
Are you guys talking about Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Like, is he the main character in it?
Kind of, yeah.
Of Toy Story?
It is Toy Story 3.
You bitch.
Okay. It didn't have Black Widow on it. 1 out of 5.
What?
Is it the Avengers?
It's close. It's Captain America Winter Soldier.
Is that your review?
I don't know what this one is at all. Not a fan of looking up in that chick's nose. Not at all. Oh, I know what it is now.
You know what it is from that?
Yeah. I have a list of options in front of me. This is my choice for you.
Yeah, without the list of options, I have no idea.
That one. John, do you want to take a guess?
Okay.
Name the movie based on the review found on Amazon. Not a fan of looking up in that chick's nose. Not at all. 2 out of 5.
Kill Bill.
No. That is Blair Witch Project.
That's weird.
Fair. That's
The
fair.
snowman keeps falling apart. 1 out of 5.
Jack Frost.
Frozen?
It is Frozen.
Oh.
It's Frozen.
I've never seen that either.
This was the most unrealistic load of crap that one could ever see in their life. Time travel is only possible at 180,000 miles per second, not 88 miles per hour. 1 out of 5.
Well.
Really? Back to the Future.
Yeah.
You should have just left out the 88.
It's hard to believe that a hotel that size in Colorado would close in the winter with all the skiing business. 1 out of 5.
The Shining.
That is The Shining. She looked more like
That was a hell of a game. I like it.
she looked more like a Satan bird than a fairy. 2 out of 5.
A Satan bird.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of any fairies.
When did this movie come out?
I don't know.
Hmm.
I'm not sure what this one is. Do you want to come back to? Let's come back to this one.
Is that like weird Bay one or whatever?
Baby's Day Out.
I thought this movie was about birds. Needless to say, I was disappointed. 1 out of 5.
The Birds. The Burbs.
I'm trying to think of what title could make someone think that's a movie about birds.
Ooh.
Because my immediate reaction was Flight of the Conchords, which is not a movie.
No.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Is it The Aviator? Because that'd be funny.
No, it's Birdman.
Oh.
In the movie Not Anywhere was there swans. 1 out of 5.
Black Swan.
Black Swan.
Yep. Went into too much trouble to save the whale. The kid did. They should have killed the whale and ate it. 1 out of 5.
Free Willy.
Yeah, it is Free Willy.
Or any of the Free Willy movies.
This one's gonna be really easy, but I just want to read the review. Action-packed, so great for teens, perhaps. I have fear of heights, so every time Batman flew off buildings, I almost passed out. 2 out of 5.
I just love the idea someone is in the theater like, oh god.
I know, yeah, blacking out during a movie is really funny.
So yeah, that's The Dark Knight.
It makes me think of Chunk's story from Goonies,
Mm-hmm.
where he fake threw up on someone in the theater, and it caused everyone in the theater to start throwing up everywhere.
He never felt so bad in his entire life.
Yep.
Great.
He confesses it to the Fratellis.
I
He
hate
thinks he's gonna
musicals.
die. Sorry.
I hate musicals. It is a musical. I watched about 7 minutes. They were walking around snapping their fingers. I was like, oh no, is this a musical? 1 out of 5.
Sweeney Todd.
No.
I guess it could be any musical.
Well, they're
Yeah.
walking around snapping their fingers.
Newsies.
Like this kind of.
Yep, like that kind of.
West Side Story.
Yeah.
West Side Story.
My brain blanked on it. I was like, come on.
This one is in all caps. Not what I expected. I prefer dogs that are not possessed by evil. Gave it to my nephew and he loved it. 1 out of 5.
Cujo.
That is Cujo.
It's a. Sorry. Rabies isn't evil. Just throwing that out there.
Mary is still poppin'. 5 out of 5.
Is it Mary Poppins?
It is Mary Poppins.
She's still poppin'. I want that sequel so bad.
Mary Poppins 2 still poppin'.
Yeah. I would watch that 1,000 times.
1,000 times. I'm glad this evening has become movie review trivia.
Yeah.
At least until you get fueled up, John.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, once I get going a little bit more, and this is hot food too, so I'm gonna be capsaicing like crazy.
I'm gonna eat something after you finish eating. I'm just gonna eat in shifts tonight.
I'm
Michael
still
had his
eating.
sub.
Oh, that's right. You did have a sub. Was it good? What did you get? Meatball?
Nah, it's the beef cheddar brisket one.
Oh, it looks like an ear of corn from here. Because like it was like partially covered up by your little tag.
Man, beef cheddar brisket sounds.
That does sound really good.
I could order a Jimmy John's. Ooh.
You could, but then you're contributing to Dead Rhinoceros.
You know, I don't care.
I don't know what you're talking
If they
about.
put rhino meat
I
in the
also
sub,
don't care.
Ask him.
if they put rhino meat in my sub, I would eat. I'd be okay with that.
If you could eat any animal, okay. So imagine there was no consequence. I mean, like, well, I don't want to get into like a morality debate with this, but there's like infinity of every animal on the planet. You don't have to worry about extinction. There's no pain, but like you have like a way to secure some sort of like animal meat, any kind you want. You could do the dodo, you could do a woolly mammoth, you could do a T-Rex. If there's any animal that you would choose to have a sandwich of, just assuming, like, and we'll use like facts that we
If
know.
you give it to me like that, then it's got to be T-Rex just to sate my curiosity.
Emperor penguin.
You would eat just a big fat penguin.
Yeah, here's the thing: is
Is
I
that your
don't
favorite
like,
animal?
I don't like a lot of animals. My list of animals that I personally enjoy is very short.
So you'd eat the one that you enjoy the most.
Because like number 2 on my list is duck, and duck is so good.
Duck is your second favorite to eat, or your second favorite animal?
It is like my most favorite to eat, but it is my second favorite animal. So it stands to reason that eating a penguin, like what if that's how it works? What if the animal you love the most, you love that animal because on like a molecular level your body understands that you crave the meat.
That'd be
I would bat and turtle meat, which I feel is very like there's not much to it.
Yeah.
Like I don't think there's a lot of turtle muscle or bat muscle.
What if you go like a Galapagos tortoise, like a really big?
I feel it's still very like stringy. It's very thin. Like there's not like a lot of like substance. There's like a drumstick. I guess I could eat a turtle leg. I don't know. Maybe turtle leg is more like veal because it's very low in terms of like it's atrophied. So I don't know if that's good. But like,
So under the same logic, you'd eat a sloth
yeah, a sloth might be really good. A sloth might be like super chewy, like
because it just lays there.
like a gummy meat. Yeah,
You could probably eat a sloth like while it was living, and it wouldn't be able to react in time.
that's true. By the time you've eaten and it's dead, and it still doesn't know. Yeah,
Oh.
poor thing. I don't want to hear it cry.
See, there's no animals I really desire to eat that I don't have access to already eat.
Not like a
I'm a
condor.
pretty simple dude.
If it was a one-time deal, I would eat a dog. Like if it was like the rest of the world cares what you eat, but like on this one meal, how come death row inmates don't go crazy and be like, yeah, I just want like 5 dogs barbecued.
I want a black rhino burger, bitch. Yeah, like right before they shock them to death. Yeah.
Shock them to death.
And I mean like with
Like
like
made a stabbing motion and said shock them to death.
well, it's like a cattle prod that they hit them with over and over. A really high-powered cattle prod. That's inhumane.
What is that? The thing from Raising Hope, where her last meal request was a McRib and a Shamrock Shake, and she's like, "Yeah, she's smart. Those two are almost never available at the same limited time."
That's a pretty good show.
It's a really good show.
I have a crush on what's her name? Sabrina Woodward.
Martha Plimpton.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
I kind of do have a crush on Martha Plimpton too. Just because I like her character so much. I think she's funny. If people are funny, I'm attracted to them. I wanna
Cloris Leachman.
unclog their butts. Yeah, I'll unclog Cloris Leachman's bottom. I feel hers is like if you had a slushie, like you froze like a 2-liter of Mountain Dew, and then you turn it upside down, and you have to like prod it until finally like it. Yeah.
Radon,
Yes.
has John made you watch the film They Came Together?
Not yet.
No.
It's so good.
It's on Amazon, and to put it in perspective, in the past 2 weeks, I've watched the movie 5 times with 5 different people, so I could show them this movie. Because I didn't expect it to be as wonderful as it is, and I haven't. Huh?
That's also what we did with movie 43.
Uh-huh.
And no one has seen that movie except for us and those like 4 people we made watch it.
It's true.
You need to come up to town, Radon, and we're gonna watch these movies.
You're just making me not want to come up.
And to watch movies with us?
Yeah.
But they're so good, Radon.
They are.
Would we lie to you?
Yes.
No.
I would never. Not about movies. What are you talking about? I've never once given you a dishonest movie review.
Okay, that is true. But that doesn't mean that I would agree with your opinion.
Also fair.
It's true. I did sit in your living room and ramble on about the movie RV starring Robin Williams
Yep.
in an attempt to get you to watch it.
We push
Yeah.
that one a lot.
It's
I watched,
surprisingly funny.
You know what I did watch part of last night because before I was going to bed, I was watching like stuff on my DVR, and then I stopped, and what was on my TV when I went back to like out of the menu was DC Cab.
DC Cab.
It is a movie with Mr. T and Bill Maher
Ooh.
and Paul Rodriguez and Gary Busey.
Ooh. All stars.
Mm-hmm.
Smash Mouth.
Yeah.
The cast of Smash Mouth in. Okay. So, have you watched? Okay, let's talk about this. Fuller House.
Nope.
Nope.
You haven't watched it?
I hate Full House. Like, you can't get me. I will not watch more Full House.
It's Fuller House because DJ Tanner's last name is now DJ Fuller.
I prefer to think that she, like, on the weekends, she plays gigs as DJ Fuller.
Actually, Stephanie Tanner goes by the name DJ Tanner because she DJs.
Oh my god.
Was that a real thing?
Yeah, it's totally a real thing. Spoilers.
I'm gonna have to leave this podcast.
Go home and burn your TV.
Yep.
Netflix, what have you done?
No.
It's weird because like the new show, it grew up with like a generation of people that watched the show 20 years ago, or maybe didn't watch it, but you know, the people who watched the show 20 years ago when it was out. And now that those people are grown up, the show isn't catered towards, you know, the same audience exactly. Everybody's a little bit older. And it's weird because the show has infinitely more sexual innuendo than ever before.
I read that, yeah.
Yeah, a lot. It's like surprising. Like more than most shows, more than like New Girl or something. It's interesting. There's just a lot of sex jokes. They talk about boobs, they talk about like semen, like it's all over the place.
Semen is all over the place.
It can be unless you contain it.
It's like a proton pack. You just gotta
Just get a bowl of condoms.
open?
Yeah.
Or is it like if you drop your phone in like a bowl of rice, it sucks all the water out?
You just jizz into a bowl of condoms and you just it saps it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, rice is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I like rice.
Nope.
I thought we were talking about the girl from Beethoven.
Yeah.
Is that not what we're talking about?
We're talking about how the kind of rice that rice makes.
Wild.
Wild rice.
It bugs me that there's a thing called dirty rice and people eat it.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Yeah. It's weird.
I think it tastes good, but why did we call it dirty rice?
There's no self-respect.
50% off e-cigs and 20% off any tattoo
Where?
at Southwest Vape and Lucky Tattoo Studio.
Where's that?
3530 Foothills Road, Suite E, next to Hooters.
What city?
Here, Massachusetts.
Oh, okay. Just making sure that it wasn't like from Vegas or something. You never know.
I just like the idea that it's like Southwest Vape and Tattoo.
We had actually somebody in the Facebook community page post something earlier, and his question, it's a very good question, was if you could go back and replay any game with new eyes for the first time, what would you choose to experience it brand new?
Super Metroid.
Oh,
My first playthrough of that game was just like... I think I like that game as much as I do because my first playthrough of it was so good.
It's a wonderful, wonderful experience. Okay. So, getting to discover everything, getting to learn the controls, the nuances, the secrets. Like, the game is full of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. The game very much caters towards exploration, and I think the best part about it is that there's very little in terms of, like, clue or tutorial. You actually get more tutorial watching the attract mode from the title screen than you do from anywhere in the game, and I think that's excellent.
Yeah.
See,
Michael,
my answer
yes.
would have to be, like, I'm thinking really hard about this.
Sure.
Most of the games I played when I was younger that I really love I wouldn't want to replay because I fear that playing them now would decrease that nostalgia value, that nostalgia factor that makes it so valuable for me.
Mm.
But I think Super Mario RPG, because I think I would enjoy it a lot more as I am now than when I originally played it. Because I was kind of a kid, I didn't quite get what's going on. There was some frustration as I was going through. I think that's the one I would like to play through again.
Mm-hmm.
That's my answer.
Good choice.
John? Wait, I know.
Yes.
Call of Duty Ghosts.
Call of Duty Ghosts for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was so impressed with the multiplayer, seeing it for the first time. That
Call of Duty Cthulhu.
Yeah, Cthulhu of Duty. I was gonna say Jaws for the NES, because like the thing about most NES games is as much as I know about them, there's still a lot that I don't feel like I retain from replaying a lot of old NES games, and that's mostly like sort of the off titles, not Mario's or Zelda's or anything. But like if I were to go play Funhouse, I've played it before, but playing it right now would be like playing it for the first time. You know?
Yeah.
And not that that's like a good experience exactly, but it's still new to me, which is weird. But in all honesty, I might actually choose Earthbound.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. Like, I remember being up late. Like, we rented it, and so we were kind of trying to get through it over the course of a weekend. And like me and my friend were just like up in his living room, and like the first coffee break happened, and it was just like the weirdest like moment where the Super Nintendo was handing down like adult to child like life philosophy.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I feel like weird.
Yeah, it's a really interesting approach that the game takes, and as a kid, I didn't get a ton of like those nuances, but now as an adult playing through it and having gone through stuff we discussed last week, which was like when I went through all my really difficult life scenarios, it really rejuvenated me spiritually and mentally on a lot of levels where I understand things differently and I interpret and process stuff. And playing through Earthbound again as an adult, it has a very different feel despite being the same. And I feel like playing that right now, it would feel very like esoteric to me in terms of like a lot of like the game's innate messages. And that's super interesting that I just never picked up on that at all. But now, I'd be able to see it.
That's why I wouldn't, like I was saying, I've talked about it all the time, but Chrono Trigger is my favorite game. I love it. But I would not want to play it now because I'm way more jaded of a human being. So there's those moments like, Robo sacrifices himself to do that or to do one thing, and then Chrono, first time he's in the Magic City and Lavo shows up and there's that whole scene that destroys people emotionally.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd just be like, because I'm dead inside now.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't have those. I'm worried I wouldn't have those emotional connections if I tried playing it now.
What if it was possible, like, if you could know before you had your brain wiped and then they sat you down in a room to play Chrono Trigger that like it would help you be less dead inside. Like you would be dead inside now, and then by erasing Chrono Trigger and having to go through it for the first time, it would they would spark new life inside of you.
Sort of renew your thoughts.
Then I would probably do it.
Okay.
It's a pretty big gamble, though.
It is.
I'd like to play Mario 64 again for the first time, like experiencing it not like by today's standards, but to get the feeling. Because I guess that's probably what the question was suggesting, was to experience it and feel the same thing you felt the very first time you experienced it. Because, God, Mario 64 blew my goddamn mind, man. The analog control, the first time I ever tried anything like that, I was so intimidated and excited. And I remember thinking that, the idea of having, control that put me in not just left and right with a jump button was too much. Mm-hmm. So when I had the chance to try it, I remember thinking, there's, a 38-degree angle that way, and if I press the joystick in the right direction, I can walk straight across that board myself. It's not like a pre-rendered, angle kind of thing.
Yeah.
Dang.
See, that's kind of how I felt about GoldenEye when I first played it. Because that was when I shot someone in the foot and he lifted his foot in pain, blew my mind when I first saw it.
Yeah.
Because me and my brother would sit there and we'd just shoot this guy in all of his different limbs just to watch him be like, which is fucked up, but it still was mind blowing to me that could happen.
They could do that. Yeah, motion capturing on any level used to blow my mind. I sniped a dude in GoldenEye. He was like walking around like the snowy Russian field, and he was walking, and he was barely sort of like over like the top of a hill. And
Larry.
I know, Larry, I sniped him in the head, and he just like crumpled down to the ground like a body, and I was like, oh, I actually felt like, dang, I killed a man. I remember.
Yeah, because
yeah.
Before that, I guess the closest thing I got to that was like with Area 51 and games like that.
Yeah.
Where the ones that you'd shoot a criminal and you'd be like, ah. But it was like, I shot that guy in the face and he grabbed his chest and went, ah. Like, it wasn't the same thing. This was a guy actively reacting to what I was doing.
Yeah, the arm, the leg, the chest, whatever it was. Yeah.
And then you get a paint gun and you just shoot paintballs everywhere. It was really weird.
What about Perfect Dark, where like they'd yell things at you when you killed them? They yelled like "you bitch," and then they'd fall down dead.
That's a good one. I remember I was playing on the original Xbox. I brought it over to my uncle's house, and I was playing Halo. And the grunts in that game, when you shoot them, like they scream, and they like ask you like "please no" and stuff like that.
Oh.
And he was so bothered by that. He was legitimately upset that the grunts like scream when you shoot at them, and like beg for mercy. And he's like, and then you kill them, obviously.
Yeah.
But if you don't kill them, then they shoot you. So it's he felt it was teaching weird lessons to people. But yeah.
That's fair. To the wrong people. To Leland Yee.
Ooh.
Yeah, speaking of that guy.
Boy.
Yeah. He ate all the shrimp. That's what he's known for. Hi, Larry. You gonna try to get into my lap?
Does Larry eat shrimp? You
You
ever give Larry like a big shrimp cocktail?
I do give him. I feed him those. Well, I give him like a full shrimp, and he has to like pull off the legs and stuff himself. I give him little gloves, so he doesn't get like sauce in between his fingernails and his cuticles.
Yeah.
Cats don't like that.
No, they are known for finger maintenance.
Yeah. Look at this. I don't like this. I want to get rid of it. I don't know how. I guess with a gun.
Paintball?
Yeah, I could just blast him in the head with a paintball gun. He would have no idea. Look, thumbs up. I don't like it.
I feel like Larry's the one who's derailing all of our conversations.
Yeah, he's actually distracting everything much more readily than anything else. Ow. Ow.
Because we were on a roll there with the whole GoldenEye, what game would you replay thing,
Yeah.
and then he shows up and he just claws you in the titty and he just throws off everything.
Directly on my nipple. The milk's coming out and I don't like it because I don't have an extra shirt.
He's ruptured the milk core.
He did rupture the milk core. He dug deep in. So with video games, what were some of your favorite like moments in technology? Because we're citing, motion capturing and like enemy reaction, analog control. What were things in video games that you were excited to see from a technology standpoint? Like, because we had to watch like the evolution of this kind of stuff like really flourish, and that's very cool about being born in the NES era is getting to watch that progression.
Yeah, and this is gonna sound dumb to anybody like younger than me, but I remember the day Star Fox 64 came out, and like hooking up the Rumble Pack.
Dude. Yeah.
And it was like the biggest deal.
Because it wasn't the standard at the time. That was like the introduction to force feedback.
See, and I've been having another argument with people in the shop recently.
Yeah.
People have been bad-mouthing the original Xbox a lot to me, and I've been getting very annoyed about it. Because that was one of those things, like, system linking for me was like first experience through the original Xbox.
It was a major strength of the Xbox. Absolutely.
Yeah, it was the ability to download my music onto the Xbox and play it in things blew my goddamn mind. I remember making crappy wrestlers in some crappy wrestling game, and they would come out and do an intro, and my little brother always put Static X songs to him. Some dude's coming out, and you just hear fucking Static X, and he's like, yeah! And you hit him with a chair.
We did the same thing. I used Silent Hill 3 soundtrack, and it was just like my dude coming out, and it sounded like wheelbarrows and like static electricity and like just like weird like rusty grinding gears turning.
Yeah, and by the way, my Xbox because I hooked it up recently because I've been testing a bunch of them at home.
Yeah.
Is a time capsule of the music from when my brothers and I were playing,
I like
because
that.
it's got Static X on there. It's got like CKY is on there. I think
Nice.
just like a ton of these mediocre bands. Papa Roach is on there at some point, I think. It's just like a bunch of these bands that's like, why? Why is that on there?
Because we like you.
But no, because I've been repairing all these Xboxes for you.
Yeah.
I went through like probably 20 Xboxes last night to test them, and I went to the music selection on each one and just laughed because any of the ones that still had music on them were so bad. There was one that was like, it sounded like ICP, but it was like not ICP. It was like an off-brand ICP.
It was
And I
Twisted.
just laughing.
Twisted, yeah, right?
No, it wasn't even Twisted. Like, it wasn't any of those guys. Think I wouldn't recognize Twisted, John? But yeah, it's just a bunch of No Doubt, a bunch of random crap like that, just on all these little Xboxes.
I like that they did that, and I like that the 360 took it like actually a big step further, because you could stream directly from like a computer or an iPod if you have it plugged in, and pop it into any game you wanted. And I remember playing Oblivion while listening to Dog Fashion Disco, and I loved every minute of just because I just got like an iPod at the time, like right before, like a year before.
Yeah.
My first portable music player, and it was like a really crappy old, like, I don't know, maybe 20 gigs. It wasn't very much, but for me it was a huge deal because it was like, I could put so much junk on there, and I would just walk around in video games, and you could just have like a randomized playlist of all the music you wanted, and the game music would shut off automatically. I was blown away with that.
Yeah, stuff like that. Again, there's a age gap between you guys and myself, or you and myself specifically, but the Xbox was my intro to holy shit, look at what video games can do. Like, there was GoldenEye and there was the Xbox, and those two just like changed my view of video games. Because I never really got to play the Super Nintendo because that was my brother's system and I wasn't allowed to touch it. Same with like most of the games from that era, I was never allowed to play because they were my brother's. So I didn't really come about until 64 when we had multiplayer, and then again Xbox, and then I ended up working at Blockbuster, and I would just turn off their little pre-recorded DVD and just hook Xboxes up to all the TVs hanging from the ceiling, and just have Halo tournaments because I was a good employee.
Yeah, that's good. But it's cool they made it so accessible, and I mean I know like GoldenEye to me was the multiplayer first-person shooter straight up.
Yeah.
However, the importance of Halo, like I didn't like Halo at the time because I was a cool kid, right? Whatever. And like I go back and I can appreciate it now. But what Halo did for multiplayer gaming right out of the box was massive. It was huge. It was so important. It was paramount to what it is right now, to a LAN type scene. You could get 4 Xboxes and 16 people playing like in a heartbeat. That's outstanding, especially for that time.
Yeah. Yeah, it was insane.
Yeah. And I fully respect that. I think it's a really cool thing that they ended up emphasizing. And Microsoft, for as much flack as they got with the Xbox being big and it's it's for dudes and bros and like the controller is really massive and whatever, I think it's cool that they really took it in more of a PC approach because I think it did pave the way for a lot of the direction that things were going in terms of like network connectivity. With Xbox Live, and even Xbox Live on the 360 was, I mean, you turn your system on and you're automatically online. You can see who your friends are. You can buy a game at the press of a button. Like, you don't have to sign in. You're in from the moment you press that button, and that was so remarkable to me. Yeah, Microsoft paved the way massively, and whether people like them or not, that's totally fine. But their importance to the industry was paramount.
Yeah, and that's, again, I will defend the original Xbox.
That's fair.
Like, all day long, because everyone's like, oh, the Dreamcast this, and PlayStation 2 that. I'm like, I don't care. This thing was great.
Yeah.
Plus, I could kill you with it if I wanted to.
Yeah, if you wanted to drop 2 of them on my head, I would die, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Yeah, without question, I'd be dead.
Thor's hammer is just made out of 2 Xboxes.
Yeah, exactly. No magnets, no trickery, no like otherworldly sorcery.
It's just 2 Xboxes taped together.
Yeah, with just a big like spade handle. Yeah.
No, I love the original Xbox. That's why I'm putting effort into fixing them all for you. But
that's fair because I think a lot of people now come to the point where they remember fondly. You know, 'cause we get a lot of requests for him, so it's kind of cool to see.
And I want to mod one just for myself, just as a little project.
Sure.
But it's a bit of a thing. Takes some doing.
It does. Yeah, it's not straightforward.
Well, there was one little thing where you can take a female USB and you can actually cut the tip off of a cord and solder the USB onto the controller port or a controller dongle. So it just plugs directly into your system. And I tried making one of these the other day, and the soldering job didn't go too great.
Oh.
And it immediately just superheated my USB drive as soon as I plugged it in. And I was actually at the shop because I was just playing around.
Yeah.
And I just threw it to our buddy Nick Weinman, and he got upset because I threw a superheated piece of metal at him.
That's fair. That's not.
But again, the problem was I was holding it in my right hand, so I'm like, that's a little hot. And I threw it to him, and then he got really mad. Because for those of you who might watch this and don't know, my right arm doesn't feel things as well as most people's arms do. A little numbed. We lost Radon.
Oh, he went to go grab his food.
What up, bitch?
Larry, he's coming.
Gross.
Yeah, Michael.
What?
Michael.
Oh, man.
I know. Shifting blame constantly back and forth.
Yeah.
So, what system did you start with? What was your segue into video games?
Well, we had we had every system as it came out, except for the Dreamcast. I think the Dreamcast and the Saturn were the only ones we didn't get.
Okay.
We had Commodore 64.
Ooh.
We had the Atari. We had Coleco. We had all that crap because my dad has always been a guy who loves gadgets, and to him that's what they are. And my older brother is highly intelligent. He's always been into computers and all that crap. So we had everything going along. So I got to actually see a good chunk of the transition, but where my experience was lacking, it was in the games themselves. I only got to play a handful of them. I played Mario World, of course. I played, Killer Instinct. I played Street Fighter. But most of the Final Fantasies, most of the RPGs, like the solo player ones, I didn't get to play because, again, those were my brother's games. Anything with more than one player in it, I got to try out pretty much. But the NES was the first one I remember clearly playing around with by myself. Because I found, and this was years after, we were already at Super Nintendo era, but I found our NES, and then I found a Power Glove, and I became determined to figure out how to use the Power Glove with something.
With anything.
I never quite succeeded. The idea of it was so cool to me.
Oh, yeah, because you wear it. It's not just something you hold.
You just do this, and it does things.
Yeah, you put it on your hand. You what? It's the fingers would read.
Yeah.
Chicks like the
to read.
Yeah. Yeah, you put it on and you do the thing, and it's just it totally can tell, and you can move, and and of course it didn't really work well, but the idea was great.
Yeah.
Did you ever get it to work the way you wanted?
No, not at all.
No.
I tried. I put hours into it trying to figure out what I was doing wrong before I realized that it just didn't work very well. Because at that age, Nintendo was like a god to me. There's no way they'd release something that doesn't work properly.
Yeah. Larry,
I see him stuck.
He's trying to
I can
pull down
see that he is stuck. He's just yanking over and over again, trying to get free. He gave up. He gave up.
He's just staring at me, defeated. It's really cute.
They're your claws, Larry. Just put them away.
He doesn't know how to do that. He's looking down. He's looking other directions because he's. This is it. This is the parameter.
This is where he lives now.
Yeah, his hand is there. So.
Dude, every conversation we have is just going to be derailed by Larry.
Yeah.
All night. It's going to be really funny.
I'll leave him there. I don't care.
There's just a paw reaching into frame.
I know. He's trying still to get away, but he can't do it.
What a fucking moron.
Hi, Larry. Yep. It's cute at least.
Is it?
And he's looking at me and purring. He just doesn't know.
He doesn't know where he is or what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have 3 Xboxes at the shop right now that are functioning, and yeah. So I was putting them on the shelf, and we have a glass shelf, and every time I stacked one on the next one, I got so nervous.
Oh yeah, you should only probably
Because
put it on the bottom shelf.
Yeah, they are such a heavy system that
Yeah.
I'm like, eee.
It's crazy that they're like an Xbox is literally twice as heavy as any other system, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
One Xbox is twice as heavy.
At a minimum, twice as heavy.
Yeah. So I
What
picked
is
up,
it, like
like
4
3
to
or 4
5 Wii's?
360s. Oh yeah, probably like 7 Wii's. Their Wii's are nothing. But I
Yeah.
picked up a couple 360s before, and sorry, this is still going on. And that's no problem. But when it comes to like Xboxes, we were moving a couple out of the office the other night, and there was like 3 in my arms, and I was like, this is awful.
Yeah.
You know? They stuck 4 or 5 on there, and I was holding the whole thing. I was like, dude, like I don't know if I can do this.
No, that was the thing. Like, we loaded up, 20 PS2s into a box?
Yeah.
And you carried that out to my car by yourself, no problem. Like, you were
Yeah.
struggling a bit, but you still got it out there.
Yeah.
And then we put, 14 Xboxes in a box.
And both
And
of
it
us
took
too.
both of us to carry it to the car.
Yeah, they're pretty incredible. I remember a story about Mike, the old manager that I had over at Gamers Anonymous on the east side. I used to work with him at GameStop a long time ago, about 12 years ago.
Yeah.
And he tells a story about how he almost died because he was in the back room getting an Xbox off the shelf, and one of the boxes fell and hit him in the head. Like, that's enough to do you in, man.
Yeah.
But
If that
he
thing was not in a box, he would have died.
would have straight died.
It would have just drilled through his forehead.
Right.
Just cheese grated him with the stupid little edges that are on it. Have I mentioned on the podcast before that I got pushed down an escalator when I was a kid?
An escalator?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I was annoying the shit out of my older brother when I was a kid, and he finally just got to that point where he's like, you know what, fuck it, this is happening. And he just pushed me down an escalator, and the stairs just cheese grated my face all the way to the bottom.
Jeez.
And I just had strips of flesh hanging off of my face. And somehow, I was the asshole in that story.
Right, he finally got free, but this is exactly... I don't know if you can see the picture that well. If it's
Pretty washed out on my screen.
Yeah, it looks like it's kind of washed out. Well, whatever the case, that's my point of view, is Larry just stuck on my shirt. Just able to do nothing.
Larry.
So, yeah, that's too washed out. Anyway. It's cute.
Is it?
Yes. Oh, I got my new router. How's my connection been tonight?
Great compared to previous times.
Yes. Okay, good. Yeah, 'cause I got my new router in the mail today, and I hooked it up. First thing I got home was, like, plug that in, run in here, set up anything if I needed to, and then get online. So, it seems like we're good. And there you have it. And now you know the rest of the story. I'm Paul Harvey. Good day. Are you familiar with Paul Harvey?
No.
Too young. Okay, that's okay. He was on like not like talk radio, but it was like a little kind of an intermission kind of thing where he would tell the story of like the origin of something. You know, Stephen Mars walked down to the store and proposed the idea of a nougat covered in chocolate, and that's how we got Mars bars. Now you know the rest of the story. Like he was like always like this really cool origin story kind of thing presented in this really telltale kind of way. It was super fun. I really liked listening to all his little stories. And he died some years back. The final story.
Now you know the rest of the story.
I'm Paul Harvey. Good day. You should actually listen to Paul Harvey. I think it's something you would genuinely like because they're really kind of fun.
I want to play
check it out.
Paul Harvey's Humongous Adventure.
It just gets turned into a can of soup.
Yeah.
Can of soup.
Yeah, like Campbell's.
So I know you guys have been bugging me to get a PS4 so I can play Grand Theft Auto with you guys.
Yes.
True.
I am happy to announce that we got an Xbox One today.
You
Well-
bastard.
That means you can play Killer Instinct with me.
That's true.
I do like Killer Instinct. I want to get good with Rash.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to, but I want to.
I just don't care about Killer Instinct.
That's fair.
I'm honestly kind of like I love KI1.
Mm-hmm.
That's really the only one I like. But I'm like really ambivalent about the new one. But now that I have an Xbox, It was really funny because Erin was waffling on what to do with her tax return, and she was like, "Should I get a PS4? Should I get an Xbox One?" And I don't think this has ever happened to me in the history of like buying games or recommending games to people. It was so stalemated that the way we decided was which controller she liked more.
That's totally fair.
That was the only thing that I could use to differentiate the two for her.
And if that's the case, I would actually go with the Xbox One as well if that's the only deciding factor.
Fair.
That said, I love the PS4 controller so much more than the other DualShocks.
Yeah, it is great.
Yeah, but I do also enjoy the Xbox One controller an unbelievable.
Actually, the Xbox One might be the first Xbox controller where I would pick the PS4 over it.
It's fair.
Because it's a little smaller than the 360, and it's like, I don't know if shallow is the right word, but it makes my hands chalk up on it more than I'm comfortable with, and it bothers me. I feel like I'm swallowing the controller when I'm using it.
When you're using the PS3 controller or PS4 controller, you also hit the home button during Street Fighter.
All the time.
I do that all the fucking time.
That makes me laugh. I love it.
Yeah,
Do
we
you
started
love it,
playing.
John?
We started having people over. Like it was really weird, but it's cool because our game night group has been more or less the same people with like an odd like I'm here this week or I'm gonna take a month off, but more or less like the same core group of people for like 2 years almost.
Mm-hmm.
Now that Street Fighter V is out, I'm getting requests from all kinds of people I've never met before, and they're like, "Oh, like I want to play Street Fighter V. Like I want to get good at it. I want a good competitive group." And I'm like, "Okay." And then everyone just comes and talks about how much they hate the Las Cruces game nights, and it makes me smile.
That's really funny. Well, so Xbox One, what are you playing on your Xbox One right now?
Well, it's at Erin's house. It just shipped there today.
Oh, okay, so you literally just got it.
She picked up Fallout 4.
Awesome.
And we ran into another big dilemma, which was that the Xbox bundle she got came with a download coupon, right? So we can pick from 4 games that we can download for free.
Okay, so you can only pick one of them.
I can only pick one of them.
Okay, what are the choices?
The choices are Rare Replay, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Forza 6, and Gears of War Ultimate.
Okay.
So here is where the dilemma starts, is that Erin asked me which one did I want. And obviously I wanted Rare Replay.
Right.
But I thought about it, and I was like, well, Erin's the one buying this Xbox, and Rare Replay you can get for kind of cheap.
It's like $20 now, yeah.
So she would like Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Totally?
I know she would like that.
Good, yeah.
But my roommate, soon to be our roommate, owns Rise of the Tomb Raider on disc. So it's like, okay, we don't really need to buy it. We don't need to download that. But then our other 2 options are so just kind of like, eh.
So it's like you're looking for bang for your buck kind of thing because the other options are accessible very readily and very inexpensive.
Yeah, and like I like racing games, she doesn't, but I'm not a big Forza fan.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just like we sort of default settled on Gears of War just because there were no better choices.
On principle. And you can co-op the whole thing. I mean,
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Which you and I need to finish Halo, John.
We still need to finish Halo 1. We bought this little the Halo collection like 6 months ago.
For $20.
Yeah, like $25 over at Walmart because their ad was showing up at $25. So I was like, hey, does this work? And the guy was like, yes, I guess it does. And we played like 80% of the way through the game and then just stopped. And it's not
Halo 1 will do that to you. You spend so much time in the library, and you're just like, I don't want to do this anymore.
That's, I think, kind of what happened was the pacing
100% what happened, actually.
Yeah, it was not getting me. I was like, I've seen this bridge 8 dozen times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Halo 2, I'm looking forward to. It's just
Me
we have
too.
to finish plowing through Halo 1.
We'll bring it to the
problem is-
shop, like on Tuesday or something.
Our Tuesdays, when we normally see each other,
Yeah.
we end up watching a movie and then talking about business. That's all that happens.
Let's talk about business and play Halo at the same time.
We can do that.
Okay.
Halo business.
Halo Business. Yeah, it's a sequel to Risky Business.
I don't like that.
You would, though. You would like it, which is weird that you don't like it.
You were interested in Mary Poppins 2 Still Poppin'.
I was. Like, does she go to the hood? Which is what is implied by that to me.
Who would play Mary Poppins?
I want a picture.
Wanda Sykes.
Oh. See, I want Wanda Sykes to be like the mom who isn't, or like the person who isn't happy that Mary Poppins is there.
So is Mary
Like-
Poppins like Beyonce or something? Or
I want to just be the original Mary Poppins, but I know that's not possible.
Is that Julie Andrews?
Julie Andrews, yeah.
Yeah. We'll do Lady Gaga as Mary Poppins.
I would not watch that.
I'm trying to think of who would play a good Mary Poppins. Oh, what's his name? Or Kristen Bell did like a parody of Mary Poppins.
I would watch that.
Didn't Gaga do like a Julie Andrews like tribute song thing that was really good?
Maybe. I don't know.
Is that a thing that happened? Was that a dream
It
I
sounds like
had?
something she would do.
Did I stroke out again? John, tell me
Yo.
about Eternal Darkness on the GameCube.
Tell you about it?
Yeah, tell me about it.
Once upon a time.
Dennis Dyack.
Once upon a time, Dennis Dyack made 2 good games.
Well, someone was asking me about it today in the shop, and I've never played it, so I was wondering. Yeah.
Well, do you want the honest like 13
like an-
years later opinion, or do you want like the sales pitch?
The honest 13 years later opinion.
I think both are good, but yeah, do the honesty. I want to hear the rate on honesty, actually.
Eternal Darkness is an amazing game from start to finish, full of great atmosphere and really inventive and player engaging ideas that are all ruined by the fact that there is a meter on your HUD that tells you when they're going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bummer.
Yeah, because the game's big gimmick is insanity, and the problem is like as things happen to you more and more, the insane meter goes up, and then so when something weird happens, you're like, oh, it's probably just because I'm going insane.
Yeah, and then once you get about a third of the way through the game, you get a spell that you can use almost as much as you want that will refill your sanity meter.
Yeah.
See,
So-
that's gonna be a hard sell for me. For people.
Well, the effects are fun because I mean you don't really pitch it like with that, but that's how the game mechanic is.
yeah.
But you say like as you progress through the game, things start to happen that make you question whether or not they're real. And hopefully the player doesn't deduce that immediately.
Yeah.
But you'll be walking into a room and suddenly, like, it'll be backwards, or your TV will look like it's shut off, or it'll say reformatting GameCube memory card. It'll do something really tricky, and sometimes they're really like, I mean, it's very pandering and obvious, and sometimes it's kind of like, oh, I don't actually know.
Yeah. I think the one that always got me the most is that you'd be in a room, you'd leave the room, you go to the next room, and then when you left that room using a different exit, you'd wind up back in the first room.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'd always be like, what? Why am I here?
Weird.
Mm-hmm.
See, so like, is there other things on the HUD that you need to see?
There's like your life meter and
Yeah, so there's 3 meters. There's your life meter, your magic meter, and your sanity meter.
yeah.
Okay. Because I was wondering, like, could you just play through it and cover up your HUD and get a better experience out of it?
It'd be really hard, but
Yeah.
you could. I think that would actually be a worthwhile kind of endeavor.
Yeah, because then you couldn't like tell how much damage you have, and that's kind of exciting, is knowing that if you get
Yeah.
hit, that could be it.
I'm actually really into this idea now. I might try that.
But it's got a really neat story because it takes place over like a bunch of different characters, all tied together like this one girl, and it takes place like in an ancient like Roman gladiator, or during like a medical bay in the Civil War, or with Charlemagne, and it's all tied together in this really like long sort of common bond. So it's a really cool. I think it's worth playing.
I agree.
Yeah. But it definitely, as a gameplay title, doesn't hold up quite as well, but the experience is still worthwhile.
Yeah, because somebody was asking me about our GameCube games today, and ultimately I ended up selling them Wind Waker, but I didn't know anything about Eternal Darkness, so I was like, between Time Splitters and Wind Waker, it was really just Time Splitters is really good.
Time Splitters is the ultimate choice.
But people love Wind Waker, man.
The problem with Wind Waker compared to Time Splitters is that it does not have an undead moose that shoots bricks. And Time Splitters allows that because you can play as like a dinosaur or a school of fish or a duck with like a little kind of like Wade from U.S. Acres. And I'm sorry, that's the only comparison. Or like a robot cactus, or I mean, there's all kinds of silly enemies. because I think Time Splitters we had 150 characters.
Yep.
And it was wonderful. I remember the moment I realized I loved that game more than anything was I was playing with my old buddy Dave Gilligan on Xbox Live. I'd got Xbox Live just for this game, and we were playing online, and I was I don't remember what character I was. There's a whole bunch to choose from, but I was trying to snipe him, and he was playing as like a gigantic circus bear, and he was driving a jeep around an iceberg trying to run over a T-Rex, while the T-Rex was just hucking bricks at him. And I was like, this is my dream game. Everything that's happening is all I've ever wanted, because it was a serious first-person shooter, totally spoiled with all these ridiculous, silly concepts that made it hilarious. And you can make your own levels, save in a memory card, play them online. Time Splitters 3 was a remarkable game.
See, that sounds amazing, and I've never played 3, I don't think.
3 was so good. Had a great storyline, too. I'd actually like to play through that again.
I was trying to sell someone on the Subspace Emissary again today.
It's a good one.
No one ever believes me.
I enjoy it.
like, it's actually really fun. It's a really enjoyable playthrough, and they're like, brawl. That's all anyone's response is.
Yeah, you just gotta play it as a game, man. Like, not worry about a super competitive control single-player game. Kind of gotta get over that. Subspace is sweet.
Don't lie to me.
I'm not lying to you.
Could be, though.
That's true.
How would I know?
You have to trust me.
Michael, now's your chance to ask us about any video game.
That's true.
And get the straight poop and the sales pitch.
It's true. Yeah, anything in the store that you see that a customer's asked about that you do not know.
So this is something I legitimately have wondered.
Okay.
What is the appeal of the dot hack games? Why are they so popular?
Ooh. Okay, so dot hack is basically like. Have you ever played Phantasy Star Online, either online or offline?
Nope.
Okay. Dot hack is basically if Phantasy Star Online was offline but played like it was online.
Yeah. That's.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's a little 4-player arena, like, MMO. It's not exactly MMO because it's not like a massive thing. I guess Dot Hack tries to push that a bit more, but it's like a false MMO.
Yeah.
You're playing like an MMO offline, but it makes it like the game presents it in a way that makes you feel like you're online. So like somebody will be running by and they'll be yelling hi 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 happy face or something.
Yeah.
You know,
or like someone's like looking to trade this armor, and it's just like a random NPC that wants to like trade armor. I think big things for me is that like, your save file carries over from game to game. So if you beat dot hack 1, you keep your save file, and when you start dot hack 2, you start at the level you were at when you finished dot hack 1.
See, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And I'm a sucker for things like because it's a fake MMO. Like there's things where you have to do in the real world where you'll have to log out of the game, but you're still on your computer. You need to like check your email for clues or like go look up something on a website in the game, like not a real website. And I'm always a sucker for like that weird like fake internet thing in video games. That always gets me.
Yeah, that's really good.
And they do it really well in those games because it's got kind of a cool story and premise as well.
Yeah.
Which is like you and your friends are playing like this MMO together, and suddenly like one of your friends, I think like the character like disappears or logs off or something happens, and in real life they end up going into a coma, and something corresponding in the game is what caused this. So you have to go into the game to find out what happened game-wise that put them into a coma, so you can revive them in the real world.
Yeah, and he has like a glitched piece of gear because he hacked, and he ends up giving it to you before he goes into the coma, and so like, you can do this weird mechanic where you can basically corrupt the game and like cheat, but the more you do it, the more you become like your digital self becomes corrupt, and if it hits like 100% corruption, then you go into a coma too.
Huh. That's actually really interesting.
There's a lot of cool ideas. It sucks that they're so expensive, and they're not like. As an idea, it's one of the coolest RPGs on the PS2, and in execution, it's like a B+. Like there are way better games you could play, but it's still pretty freaking solid, especially if you can play through all of them.
That is a good sales pitch. Unfortunately, I'm looking in our high value case right now, And nothing really is jumping out at me for questions, which is a bummer. I've played a majority of these. The only ones I haven't played are like the Game Boy Advance games.
Like Astro Boy.
Mega Man Battle Network 6 Cybeast Falza.
Oh yeah, that's one of the ones that I got for you guys.
Thanks.
We have
Yeah,
two.
gotcha.
We now have two of those.
Oh,
Thanks.
shit.
Thanks, Sims 2.
Multiplayer.
Star Trek.
I'm trying to think of like certain games because I sort of proposed in the GA page the other day with trying to showcase certain games that people might not be aware of that end up being.
I just saw your title.
Oh, good, yeah. It's important that we have differing opinions or desires. But like one of mine for people was Lilo and Stitch for the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, I saw that. That was a good write-up.
Through that little video, talked about how like it's basically just Metal Slug, and it totally has the exact feel. And it's interesting to think that there are certain games out there that have garnered such a specific style that like whenever you look at games, that game is the base comparison. So Contra's still like the base comparison for Metal Slug, but they've differentiated enough to where you could have a Contra style game and you could have a Metal Slug style game, and that's a distinction.
Yeah.
But there are certain games that at the time did something so well that became like the permanent base for comparison. You know, like Ocarina of Time did that for a lot of 3D games with like the lock-on system. You know, of course, there's Mega Man. There's Shadow of the Colossus becomes one in a couple of regards when you have gigantic boss fights.
Yeah.
See, and
yeah,
I love finding those weird one-off games that aren't really like that.
yeah.
Because I was talking to you about this the other day. A customer came in and bought a game that I had never heard of. It was the Voodoo one.
Voodoo Vince.
Voodoo Vince. And the idea that you actually attack yourself in order to attack the people around you was really interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's anything that they've replicated from anywhere or if that was a unique idea for that game.
It's the battle mechanic, but I mean, I would if someone were to say what does that play like, I would probably say it's Mario 64, Crash Bandicoot, not the new older Crashes, but like
Jack
3D.
and Daxter.
Right, exactly, Jack and Daxter. I would say it's one of those, but here's the gimmick. Here's the unique mechanic. Yeah. So, but yeah.
The mechanic made me actually want to play the game because it sounded really interesting.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that game.
Dropping an anvil on your own head to attack the people that are around you is really funny to me.
Yeah, it's very Looney Tunes, and there's a charm in games that can do the over-the-top thing really well.
Well, it's like holding a gun to your head and threatening everyone around you, like, I'm going to do it!
Yeah.
It's like...
I can't remember. Radon, did you ever play Go-Go Hypergrind?
No, I had the opportunity a couple times, but I never ended up playing it.
We should try that next time you're up here. So I ended up picking that game up, and then I think within less than a month it had dropped from $50 to $15, brand new. Because I'm pretty sure I'm the only person that bought it. Tony Hawk.
Have you ever bought a game and then you were really disappointed because it didn't play anything like you thought it would play?
I'm generally pretty good about like researching stuff for the most part, but there have been a handful, especially Final Fantasy 13 just as a whole. I cite that a lot. I know. I'm trying to think of something else.
Like for me, I'll go a really modern example. Well, not modern, but recent example for me was I finally got my hands on a copy of Blinx the Time Sweeper, like a year ago, within the past year, and I was like, oh, like this is one of the most like seminal Xbox platformers. Like this is gonna be great. It's an exclusive. I can't wait. And it's just like a not that fun puzzle game.
Yeah, the puzzles. It's a great idea, but like they don't go in depth with it because they don't want it to be too hard. So, like, I think the coolest part about that game is that you can freeze time and then walk through water, and like the water just like splits around you.
Yeah,
that was my favorite part about it.
Yeah, well, not unfortunately, but I can't really think of any games that I've played like that where I just got burned by the gameplay going in. I know that I had a weird experience that was similar to that because I played the X-Men Origins Wolverine game on the 360, which is a great game, by the way.
Great game.
It's a solid game. Gets a little repetitive, but it's good enough to carry you through.
Yeah.
And then I played the same game on the PS2, and it is not
No.
It is not the same game.
The
It's
same
got
in
the
name.
same name. It's got the same like all that. But you get it, turn it on, and you're like, this game is not very good.
Yeah.
It's blocky and awful. And why did I do this?
Yeah. A little bit different. I feel like there was something somewhat recently that I did finally get a chance to try, and I was like, actually, Outlast. And it's not because I think this is a bad game, but this is more of just like a personal kind of thing. I think the game is actually really cool, has some really cool ideas, but it's a scary game, like you're a photojournalist looking into like these strange happenings at like an asylum or whatever. It's very kind of by the book.
Yeah.
But I downloaded it. It was like $15. Wanted to try it out. Wanted to get creeped out, and I haven't gotten scared at all during this whole game. And like stuff jumps out, and I just go, well, I better run away or kill it. And I don't think I can kill it, so I guess I'm gonna run away. And nothing is like startled me or scared me. And it's only disappointing in the regard that like I don't feel like it's thrilling. It's very much billed as that.
I've watched some playthroughs of that, and of course, in the playthroughs, a lot of times they're camping it up and screaming and be like, But everything that happens in that game, just watching it, not even playing it, feels like there's always a way out. Like there's never that feeling in that game, like, oh shit, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, okay. I guess I'll just go over here now. Like just like you're talking about. There's a guy with like big scissors or something chasing you around. He's like a doctor or something. Some crazy guy who thinks he's a doctor. He's chasing you around, and I don't care. Because just even watching the guy, he just keeps running from room to room, and nothing bad is happening.
I think the problem is those games can get very easy to formulate, and once you sort of like pick up on the patterns and the formula of what the enemy's doing, the thrill is just null.
Which is a fair point. Like, I'm trying to think of the last game like that I actually played that like got me. Because I tried Dead Rising, nothing. It's like very clear the monster's gonna jump out over here. You shoot his legs off or what. Like it's not that big a deal. Not Dead Rising. Dead Space.
Dead Space. Okay, I was gonna say Dead Rising is definitely not a scary game, but
but
that's okay. Dead Space makes more sense.
And going back, I think The Suffering was the last game I was playing that really had that feel for me. Because there were so many different types of enemies with so many different little quirks to them. Like there's the hanged man that like drops down and attacks you. And there's like a worm that pops out of the ground. There's all kinds of weird shit. That was the last game like that I played that I actually got a little creeped out about.
Sure.
I think.
What is the last? Do you get scared of video games, right on?
Very, very rarely. And when I do, it's like weird stuff. Like things just that aren't meant to be scary but unsettle me.
Yeah,
that's
like
fair.
The pause menu has like a weird font.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like but the last game that like scared me, like legitimately scared me, was Amnesia. I was playing.
Yeah. Oh, continue.
I was playing it, and like I knew it was like long after the fad had kind of broken, and so it was everywhere, and so I knew about it, and I was just like, I'm gonna play it. Like it seems like a pretty easy game. It's just like the real difficulty that people have with it is not freaking out. And since I don't get scared at games that often, I figured it was going to be an easy push. And there was a scene where I was watching the monster guy. Like it was sort of like a T-shaped hallway with more like a capital I. So it had like a long hall with like sort of like legs sticking out of it. And I was on one end of it, and I saw him on the other end, so I ducked into the corner, because if you look at him, your sanity goes down, and that makes the game harder.
Right.
So I was like kind of just ducked in the corner, like looking at the wall, like, all right, I'm just waiting for him to pass. It's fine. And I waited like 45 seconds, and I crept back out and looked, and he was just like standing right there as soon as I like peeked around the corner.
Yeah.
And I was like, nope, I'm done. Need to take a break.
Yeah, that's how they get you, is the teleportation or like the sudden arrival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him chasing me around, actually, I don't get bothered by being chased that much anymore. I used to hate it in older games, but I think they use the element of surprise really well with Amnesia. They the timing to take you off guard.
I've been watching a lot of Rooster Teeth, like Achievement Hunter playthroughs, and one of the guys in the group gets scared very easily. And and the way he handles this in horror games is he just walks backwards everywhere. So like the thing that jumps out, he never sees it. He just like walks in reverse everywhere he goes until he has to turn around.
And that's his counter?
That's his counter to being scared. Is if you can't see it jump out at you, you're fine.
That's fair. I want to be scared by a game again. PT was actually the last game since probably like Silent Hill 4 that actually like scared me.
I think there's a real legitimacy. Like I don't understand like the desire to be scared as like a form of entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's not something that resonates with me. But I think it's a shame that like horror games just don't exist anymore. Like we're taking Night Trap and putting Chuck E. Cheese on it, and that's like our high pedigree of horror game right now.
It's a really interesting. It's fun for the lore, but like yeah, it's classified as horror is really interesting.
And I've never been one to get creeped out by games, just in general. Or creeped out at all, really. We were talking about that app Zombie Run. My family was. Mm-hmm. And the whole premise of it is you go running and you hear the zombies chasing you, and it's supposed to help you, run more and everything. But even like doing that, I would go, when I was using it, I'd go jogging at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And even then, in order for it to actually creep me out or get me into that mindset, I had to go to this, like, where they do the corn maze in town. So this big abandoned field with just, like, corn stalks everywhere and stuff. And I would run through, like, the corn maze listening to this shit. And then I'd start to get a little creeped out.
Okay, yeah.
It's again, dead inside. We've covered this.
Like weird, like, fake hands. Mm-hmm. Like the little motorized ones. And, like strap them to, like, a backpack and have them hang down, like, coming after you or something.
Yeah. It was just... Yeah, it's... When I am legitimately scared, which is very rarely, I don't want to say I enjoy it, but I see the appeal of like the horror games and everything. But it
can be exciting.
Really,
yeah.
I'm not really geared that way.
The hardest part is that it's not easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very easy to do, but that people don't make exceptions for it. Like I am a big proponent of the fact that Resident Evil 1 through 3 and like early Silent Hills are scary. In large part because they frustrate the player. They control poorly, there's no camera options, you have limited inventory, limited saves, things that people just won't stand for. But I think if people really legitimately wanted to play a scary game, you have to take power out of their hands. That's why Resident Evil 6 is a fun game, but it's not scary because you can just like running like elbow drop a zombie.
Yeah. Yeah. No fear.
And you feel like an Uberman when
you're not powerless against anything.
Yeah.
I agree 100% because I was The Last of Us, when I got to the end of that game, it was at that point I stopped feeling the need to stealth anywhere.
Yeah.
I would just run forward and just stick an axe into something's face and just keep going because what the fuck ever.
Yeah.
Like, again, I had so many shivs and so many like bullets and everything by the time I got to the end of that game that I gave zero fucks about trying to like stay alive. I just ran and did stuff. There's very few games where I've actually played and been like, you have to conserve what you have. Like, that's where Outlast really screws up as well. Because that's, you use the camera battery in that one, right?
Mm-hmm.
The ones I watched of people playing that and stuff like that, they would wander around in night vision mode for like an hour and they have like 12 batteries, so who gives a shit?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they put the mechanic in there, but it's still not enough to make it worth being worried about.
Right.
I don't know.
I want to be scared again. I want to feel that. And PT did that simply because, like, it gives you, literally the only thing is you can walk and kind of examine things. You can't even examine them with, like, a button directly. You have to sort of, like, look at them until something sort of, like, triggers.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of neat because it really says, like, you're responding to, like, whatever's within your vision and not like, oh, I'm going to press X to interact. I was looking at a banana peel, okay, that doesn't do anything, but then I'm looking at this wall and suddenly like the window above me shatters. And so there's a very interesting sort of knee-jerk response that the game pushes that makes it super fun. Yeah.
It does make you feel helpless.
Yeah.
It's just because even if something were to happen, there's nothing you can do about it. It's just going to happen to you, and you have to accept it.
Yeah, and then when like the one thing that gets you into the game like can kill you, like if it does happen to like get next to you, it straight just kills you. And like there's no real consequence that they put into the demo other than you restart from this other room. But it's scary because like you don't know that. Like the moment it gets you, you could have done nothing, and did I mess up? What did I do? Oh my God, I don't want it to happen again. Yeah. Yeah. So I think they did a really fun job with sort of like the pacing of how that game was presented. And it was exciting to be scared by a game again because it hasn't happened in so long.
I'm still looking around the shop trying to pick games to ask you guys stuff about.
It's fair. I'm probably get going pretty soon because before I go to bed, I want to actually continue playing. I'm playing through Life is Strange right now, and it's like a point-and-click style game, Walking Dead, Telltale-esque. A bit more in depth, which is kind of cool. A little bit more exploration. I don't know if you know much about it.
No.
It's kind of cool because I knew very little about the game going in, and so when I found out like what the gimmick and mechanics were, it was actually kind of a cool surprise that made me go, oh, I am going to be interested in this. And so I kind of don't want to say because if you haven't heard what it is, it's nothing like mind-blowing, but it's cool the way it's presented and the way it actually plays out. So it's 5 chapters, fairly intriguing story, very well written. It gets pretty real, and so I think I really like that. Plus, look at this. Larry?
Alright, I guess we're done talking about Life is Strange.
Yep. That's it.
Larry's like the producer. He's just like, come on, let's go.
Move it along, guys.
You're in charge of the Dick Ricker account. Larry. Okay. So I make sure he wasn't going to like knock over all the tons of stuff that he had on the desk over there. Hey, buddy.
You should build him a suit that lets him stand upright.
Just him walking around like an astronaut?
Yeah, like maybe it has like tripod legs, so like his legs go straight down.
Yeah.
And there's like a 45-degree angle on each leg with like a wheel on the end of it, so that if he leans forward, it just pushes the wheels along.
It's like Toe Jam and Earl.
Yeah.
He's like Toe Jam. Or like a big like wheelie wiener.
I never played Toe Jam and Earl.
Let's play it sometime. I'll have it at the shop. I have it downloaded. Do that for over Tuesday nights. Yep, it's a fun little 2-player co-op. Not much to it. Good music, silly and fun.
Toe Jam and Earl 3 is an Xbox exclusive.
That's true. We could play that too. And then the new one comes out later this year.
Does it?
Yep.
Does it, John?
Well, supposedly. Ukulele's later this year, and I'm really excited for that.
Yeah.
I never know what the hell you guys are talking about.
I think one of the cats farted because it smells really bad in here, but only through one nostril because I'm clogged in the other one.
It's a good story.
It wasn't a story. It was an anecdote.
John,
It's not a story. What?
give me the sales pitch for Herbs Sims in the City.
Yo, kids, did you ever like playing The Sims, but you wanted to go outside? Well, now you can. Check out all the hottest nightclubs with your Sims, go walk your dog in the park. Hey, go hang out with your friends by the trash can on the street corner. Yeah, in The Sims you can do everything you wanted to do in The Sims and more. Outside.
You left
So
out the
here's-
Black Eyed Peas.
Here's the cool thing about Herbs.
I did leave out the Black Eyed Peas. I forgot completely.
Is it the Game Boy Advance version of the game?
I don't know. I actually tried to look over my shoulder to see, like, behind where Michael is on my
Michael,
screen.
what console is this Herbs on that you're
The one that I'm staring at right now is on Xbox.
Okay, so here's the cool thing about the Herbs. It's not a great game, but if you wanted to play The Sims but have like more of a goal, like it's a story. Like you have to take quests and you have to do things. It's not just like open-ended, like I want to make this guy rich and then watch him pee himself over and over again.
Like World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Do missions. I like that idea.
That actually is kind of neat. I think it was the only Sims game I ever actually played. Was the Herbs. Yay.
Yeah, I'm about to sneeze.
You have to go talk to Fergie, and she's just like, wah, 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 and you're like, okay, that was weird. Move on with your day.
So it's not just that they're in the game, like, as music, they're actually characters in the game?
Yeah, the Black Eyed Peas are characters.
I actually never played it, so.
Like, I think you're trying to get to like a concert that they're having or something like that. Or Raydon, do you remember what the hell the storyline was with the Black Eyed Peas being there?
No, I just remember like you went to like live with your uncle on his like shitty country house and you were bored all the time. Or something like that. Or maybe you already lived in the country and that's why you like went to live with your uncle in the city. There's an uncle.
See, I didn't get the uncle thing. I just remember, yeah, when I played it, you start in a loft like downtown, which is basically a warehouse.
What if every single version of the herbs for like different consoles are all like radically different and no one knows because everyone's just like, I'm not gonna play some shitty console Sims game.
Yeah, but yeah, because mine was downtown, and I lived like near a bunch of bikers and stuff. And there was a loft, and then you had to go, and you had to become popular enough to get invited to whatever the hell Will.I.Am was doing, because he was the least important one, I guess, for some reason. And then you just like worked your way up to the rest of the Black Eyed Peas.
I just read something really weird.
What was it about Will.I.Am?
No. Pac-Man 2: The New Adventures is coming to the North American Wii U Virtual Console tomorrow.
That is weird.
I
I like that game a lot, but wow.
I do too, but yeah, that's a weird decision.
I just dropped a quarter into my underwear on accident.
Into your what now, huh?
My underwear.
Weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see this, but this woman has a Sonic the Hedgehog Green Hill Zone scarf on.
I love that.
And apparently it's up for pre-order.
Yeah.
That's pretty spectacular.
I was working on fixing one of the Xboxes earlier because it had a jammed disk drive.
Yeah.
And I took the whole thing apart and I was messing with it trying to get it to come loose and I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. And I reached the point of like ultimate frustration. And right when I did, I like yanked on it and then a penny just came out of nowhere and hit the floor. And I had that half second of like, did I just Jewish out so hard that a penny just materialized and flew across the room? And then, of course, I realized that the reason it was jammed was because some moron put a fucking penny in his Xbox disc tray. Because after that, it just moved further. But I was like, for half a second, I was like, what just happened?
You manifested that.
I like the idea that he put a penny in his Xbox to play like some secret Abe Lincoln game.
Did you say, hey, Blinken?
A Jew here. Ah, it's such a good movie.
It is.
Carrie Ooze.
Ooze.
Ooze. John,
What's up?
when did the Prince of Persia games get bad?
Well, I don't think I ever played anything really past like the Two Thrones. I played the one on the 360 for a little bit, the one where he's like all red and blue and he has like a claw arm.
Yeah.
And I didn't think the game was explicitly bad, but what I didn't like about it was that it sounds like the script for The Prince was written by Eddie Murphy, because he was really just sarcastic and aggressive and not like cool and collected and intelligent like the old games. So it was really a weird change of character. But like the game itself was still fun. You're just, it's literally just climbing around environments.
Did he put a banana in someone's tailpipe?
You probably did. Yeah.
Like, was that the vibe it gave you?
Yeah, because like he would just answer sarcastically. He sounded like the donkey from Shrek, except for like he was a guy, and it was really weird and kind of off-putting, kind of like Prince of Persia, the Warrior Within.
Mm-hmm.
Just only because like the first game, did you play the Prince of Persia series?
I played the first and the second one, like I'm Sands of Time, and then the following one.
Okay, so yeah, Sands of Time was first. It was really cool because, he'd be like, he's telling the story, and you're reliving the story through his memory, and like you jump into a pit of spikes, and he goes, "Oh no, I don't remember it happening like that."
Yeah,
it was. Rewind time, and it's like, oh wow, that's cool, really cool idea. And then the second one, it just Godsmack, and he's attacking this chick, and he's just like, "You bitch," and like it was really like a change of pace that wasn't. I found it was very unwelcome.
Yeah. I didn't finish it. I couldn't get into that game.
That's
that
fair.
was actually when I stopped following the series. I think I tried one like a couple later, or a couple down the line from there, and I was still just like,
still actually pretty good. Was it Two Thrones? Yeah, Two Thrones was the third one, and actually it was good. It was a lot better. They went back to a better direction. It's still, they wanted to have like a dark element, so there was like the evil dark prince or whatever, and it was kind of whatever. But it was still a fun game.
It's kind of whatever.
Yeah, then right after that's when they did the Eddie Murphy version.
I was picturing Judge Reinhold showing up and telling him he can't be doing all this crazy stuff.
You should check out like the new one. I kind of want to see what you think, because like the game wasn't bad. The mechanic was fine. And the draw was that you actually get fully unlimited lives because you can rewind time over and over to keep like trying to do stuff. I think that actually would. I actually don't. Maybe you don't. Maybe you just get unlimited lives, and the achievements were for beating the game in under like 50 lives, or dying less than 100 times, or things like that. Because I remember it wasn't difficult in the level of like you have to keep getting game overs. It was just you have infinite lives, and you want to do it in as few as possible.
Okay, so in both of your opinions, because I have a few game series that I'm supposed to be picking up and trying. Right now, the ones I've never played that everyone tells me I must play are the Mega Man ones, which I have the Legacy Collection on Xbox.
Okay.
There's the Ninja Gaiden series, starting with like Ninja Gaiden Black and going from there. And there's the Oddworld games.
Ooh.
I don't know which one to jump into first.
Mega
That's
Man.
my problem. Mega Man?
It's the quickest to pick up and sort of start. Yeah, easily.
Ninja Gaiden will make you really angry,
Yeah, it's a big investment.
and Oddworld is not my favorite.
Actually, it's not Radon's kind of thing. It's totally my game. I love the Oddworld games tremendously. But
Because you sold Stranger's Wrath to me really hard.
ooh, I love that game.
This is a part of working here is I now have access to all these game series that I like just kind of ignored for a long time.
Yeah, and it's good because try them out, get a chance to go into them, and it's good knowledge research for your job.
And there's other random games that always seemed fun that I just never got a chance to play, like Destroy All Humans. Always looked like a lot of fun. And of course, I've never played the Metal Gear series, which John is disappointed in me for.
Well, no, it's mostly funny that you couldn't get past the first one in Metal Gear because it's not an easy game. The classic ones are very hard to play. The mechanics are pretty sloppy, to be totally honest.
I booted up Twin Snakes. I started the intro. I got caught by people, and I went, "Fuck this!" I tried 9 times to get to the damn elevator. I couldn't do it, and I was like, "I have better things to do with my time."
It is a really difficult first scene compared
Yeah.
to almost every other game.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure if I could have gotten past that point, I would have been like, "Oh, sweet, keep going with this." But I was just like, "No, I don't want to bother." I'll just have you make a save file just past that point, and then I'll play through.
What I could do if you wanted, actually, you know what? It might even be more. It's not gameplay, but you could just watch them on YouTube. And it's good because you're getting the story. The games, I would say, the games don't actually get great to play until number 3, and it was the remake of 3 where there was actually better control because they give you an actual camera to use, and you could rotate the camera around Snake instead of being stuck in this sort of overhead view that's locked north.
Yeah, it's not my style of game.
That's fair. It's not for everybody. It really, they're kind of archaic. The new one's got a lot better control-wise. 5 is a lot more fun to play, But the other ones, I just put them on easy and play through them because I don't want to deal with how bogus they are to control.
Yeah, and I was joking around with one of the customers today about how in 90% of games where it gives you the option of stealth or beat the shit out of people, I almost always try and make a stealth character, and then an hour in, I'm just breaking everyone's neck and just running through the rooms screw this.
Yeah, and they don't accommodate to that until way later. Probably number 4 is when you can finally kind of run and gun.
Because I think Deus Ex was what we were discussing, because you can be stealth one, or you can be the hardcore kill the shit out of everyone path, which I still haven't played. That's why we were discussing that. But
Yeah, that's fair.
I hear if I pick it up, I should do it on the Wii U.
I have it if you want to borrow it.
You know what game I would actually recommend to you, Michael, if you've never played it? This is one of my favorite games, and it's flawed. Those are my favorite games, the ones that are bees. Everyone, I'm not gonna be like, "Oh, Michael, you got to play BioShock." Yeah, everyone knows that.
Yeah,
it's not a big thing. But if you can get down on older style GTA, like GTA 3 era GTA, The Getaway for the PS2.
Yeah.
It's basically like watching a Guy Ritchie movie, but there's just so the script is amazing, the acting is fantastic, but there's no HUD in the game. If you want to know how many bullets are left in your gun, you have to press a button to pop the clip and look at it and see how many bullets are in the clip.
See, I love shit like that.
When you're doing the driving missions, there's no mini map. Your car's turn signals will turn on, telling you when you need to make turns.
Yeah,
That's
we should
actually
play through
really
that.
interesting.
It's really cool. Yeah,
Let's do a stream of the getaway.
let's do it. Do you want me to kiss Larry?
Yeah.
I want you to just headbutt him off your chair.
I want you to headbutt him with a kiss.
All right, hold on. I don't know if he knows what to do. No, he just...
You're kiss butting your cat.
I know. Okay. He's not gonna leave. He's got a cute little paw right here. He's purring really
Hey,
loud.
guess what Larry just did?
The poop?
He derailed the conversation.
He did not poop. No. Okay. However, it's approaching 11 o'clock, and I'm very tired.
That's
I'm no
because
longer hungry.
You're lame.
Yeah, I got
I'm
very
not
bad
up there.
sleep last night. Yeah, it's not been a phenomenal day, but I'm alive. I'm here. I'm doing. But I'm gonna go relax.
Doing.
I'm gonna go to Hades and kiss some boys.
You're gonna go play Dante's Inferno.
I'm gonna go play Dante's Inferno for a little bit, jerk off when I get to the naked lady scene, and then go to sleep.
Nice.
Like Cleopatra?
That's exactly what Cleopatra used to do. Yeah, whenever she would play it.
Or Aphrodite.
When Aphrodite would play it, she would do that as well. But all the hot babes in history. Joan of Arc. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Joan of Arc and Bill and Ted. That's the chick that did the singing telegram from Clue.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Isn't she also like in the Bengals or something? Or did I make
Yeah.
that?
Or yeah. Or
I am your singing telegram.
Bang.
yeah.
Oh, I was thinking of the singing telegram and Ferris Bueller. But
Oh.
yeah. Okay.
That is a different singing telegram. There's a whole different context to it.
Yeah.
Now I just want to watch Clue.
Me too.
Oh, it's a great movie.
I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna sleep with my wife.
I'm trying to think of who I was talking to earlier, but they don't like Clue.
No.
And I need to find them and then murder them.
In
Like,
the
now you
living
have to solve the mystery.
yeah, where did Michael murder the guest?
See, that's
Look,
what. No, don't kill them. Kill someone they love, and then make them solve the case.
Oh, they have to solve it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they'll learn to appreciate Clue. You'll go to jail,
Yeah.
but they'll
They'll
like Clue.
understand that the movie has much more levity than real life, so it's much easier to stomach.
And I think we've talked about it before, but the Professor Plum's delivery of when he goes, well, then who did I kill? And he goes, my butler. And he goes, shucks. It's so perfect to me. He's so like, oh, like he got cheated.
So good. Okay. But I'm gonna wrap up because I'm tired. My throat's actually hurting. I don't know if it's sickness or if like allergies are just really bad, but I could just be getting sick again. I don't know. And I hope I'm not. But
I was gonna make a blowjob joke, but I don't have it in me.
love those
I
things.
was gonna make a Disturbed reference.
I was gonna go to a Disturbed concert and get a blowjob. That
Don't
would
do
not
that.
happen. No, that will never, ever, ever. That's how you prevent them.
Ooh,
Okay. All right. So, thank you guys for watching. This has been part of the Casa Fox 2 network. Coming up next is Tiny Toon Adventures.
Update.
And you guys should go to screwthetruth.com and check out other podcasts such as Amcast and this cast, the Cyber Zone. You can also go to garetro.com and check out a grossly outdated website. You can go to
Grossly
facebook.com/gamersanonymous and facebook.com/cyberzone podcast for all the latest and greatest in Cyberzone everything.
Yep.
So, did I forget anything?
Twitter.
Do we have a Twitter? I do have a Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay. You can find us on Twitter at GARetro.
Yep.
You can find me personally at Conan Balls. Like Conan the Barbarian's balls.
Yep.
Not
Yeah.
Conan.
Not Conan O'Brien.
Conan O'Brien's balls. No.
No, that's perverted.
At Conan on Conan.
Yes. Do you guys have Twitters?
Yeah, I'm at Magomra.
Magomra.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's a giant country lobster.
Cool. That's like a Gamera villain.
Yeah.
He just fights a giant lobster.
Yep.
Scud?
Do you think I have a Twitter, John?
No.
Do you have a Tumblr?
Oh yeah, do you have a Tumblr? If you don't have a Twitter,
Do you think I have a Tumblr?
I don't even know if you have an email. Yeah.
Write Michael a letter.
Yeah. P.O. Box
963.
963.com.
Pretty much, people can reach me through Facebook or at the Super Gamers Anonymous page.
Yeah,
on
or
Facebook.
Which will, starting tomorrow, no longer have an apostrophe in it.
Really?
Yeah.
I had to wait.
God.
It wouldn't let me update.
Yeah. I get access in at like 1 o'clock tomorrow, and that is my first order of business.
Yes, that's the number one.
It was
Whoever
on my
made that
to-do
page
list as well.
Years ago, kills me. It was nice of them with the sentiment, but no.
It belongs to Super Gamer, John.
I know. It does. The Super Gamer is anonymous.
This is Super Gamers Anonymous.
That's it. That's his little anonymous. Okay. All right. So thank you guys for watching. It's been very realistic, photorealistic, talking with all of you. Sorry that I didn't look as handsome because I had my headset on.
Yeah. It's okay.
Okay though.
People need to get to know you.
That's
They
right.
can't just
Yeah,
be
exactly.
superficial.
Know the real me, and then you'll think I'm attractive even with the headset.
All right. I'm going to recommend people watch They Came Together.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
I'm just going to recommend one movie at the end of each podcast from now on. And today I recommend They Came Together. It's a David Wayne movie. It's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. Paul Rudd, Amy Poehler. It's good. It's really good. Okay. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time on the Cyber Zone.